Hello, evening, happy Monday. This Scupula, it's Tiverius, it's Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. It's hard logic here on a Monday night. As mentioned, I'm Scupula. Tiverius, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing just fine, Scupula. Really looking forward to some hard mode logic tonight.
Yeah, so tonight we got Maniacal, who's been around a while, knows the stuff. We'll be looking to see some tricks tonight, at least on the Super Metroid side. Logic can require it. Sometimes it doesn't really play into it, but we'll see. And on the other side, we have Blazor Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a really good one. There are 12 other runners tonight, but of course our two restream runners, Maniacal and Blazer, gonna be, like you were mentioning, Scupula, showing off some Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. Hopefully we have some hard logic required, but like you were saying, it doesn't mean it's required, just mean it's in logic.
Yeah, if you watch enough of these races, you'll see normal or hard logic. A lot of people, especially in the Metroid side, since it's a platformer by nature, takes a while to get from one place to another. So when somebody can do a check, logical or not, they're gonna do it.
Absolutely. And if anyone's been watching or was watching the SMZ3 co-op tournament that was going on, it was a hard mode tournament, and there were a fair few seeds that you know no real hard mode tricks required, and then there were a couple that you really needed to know your stuff. So, wondering what we'll get tonight.
Yeah, not that this means much to the randomizer, but I think we're overdue for some suitless stuff. So we'll see.
Is MM2 in this match? I know he'd love to see some suitless stuff, but we'll definitely see what Maniacal and Blazer do here. And it looks like we do have a little bit of a split already. Blazer doing my personal favorite, the Uncle checks first. Probably hoping to get some bombs before those Kakariko check.
Yeah, I don't come up here much without something to do escape with. Just, I don't know, it just feels like it might take a while, but you never know, you might come up with a weapon here. We'll see. Maniacal's gonna do the north to CAC route, and he might check Agadam's tree here, or he might not. Yeah, he's gonna do it. Sometimes you don't do it if you don't have boots. So at least for now, it's just a missile pack. So we'll see if we need access via this route later. And yes, MM2 is in this match. I don't know how much suitless he likes, since Spring Ball is required for half of it.
Yep, and Maniacal getting really lucky there. The bomb drop coming off, I believe it was that pickle dropped the bomb for him. So gonna have at least one bomb going into Kakariko.
So $50 at the mushroom spot. It's not a bad pickup when it's there, and if you don't Houlihan, you might be looking for about 600 for Zora. So it'll take the 20 in here too. Not too bad.
Yeah, if need be, can go down to the little shop and buy 10 bombs. So gonna be a pretty cozy Kakariko for Maniacal as we get another tree pull. So far we have arrows and full magic coming out of the trees. Not bad knowledge. For the uninitiated among us, though, if you are unfamiliar with SMZ3, first of all, welcome. Second of all, it's a very interesting concept that people a lot smarter than me figured out. The short version is A Link to the Past and Super Metroid don't use the same memory slots. So you can actually smash the games together. And as we saw, we started in Super Metroid, and now we're in Link to the Past doing checks. And as we just saw on Maniacal side, getting the Morph Ball, so all the items shuffled between both games. And the goal, of course, is to beat Mother Brain and Ganon.
And there's also in each game 4 points, which link the two games so you can move from one to the other, bringing whatever you happen to find with you. And yeah, so we have an early morph ball. Sometimes it can be real convoluted, but like yesterday we had one that was on Floating Island. I had to get a whole bunch of stuff for it, but just here in Kakariko today. So that can I can spell divergence as well, because when it's early, then you get a couple power bombs. I mean, you have a lot of Metroid open too.
Yep, you're
Ooh.
in early morph like that. You're definitely going to see people who are comfortable with their SM movement popping into Super Metroid a lot earlier, and then folks like myself personally, who came to SM later, wanting to find, like you were saying, at least 10 power bombs before heading into Super Metroid.
So we got us a vanilla bugnet. Some hype in the chat, please. Vanilla bugnet. No, I didn't think so.
Insert is this even randomized meme here?
Yep. Yeah, Super Metroid can it can wreck people. I mean, there's there's people that are good at it, and I don't know how. I just don't.
It's definitely wild, and it's definitely a skill gap too between the sort of top-down view of A Link to the Past, and it's very slow movements. Even when you have the boots, it feels slow. And then the Super Metroid movement, when you watch some of the top-tier runners, Oats and Goats, the folks like that, even Maniacal, fantastic SM runner, just the fluidity of their movement in SM is fun to watch.
So that's 2 bottles, which is probably all anybody's going to want for the rest of the run.
Yep. And Maniacal does grab that lamp too, so we're not going to have to worry about dark rooms. One interesting thing about the combo randomizer is it is built off of older logic in the Link to the Past randomizer. So if you're familiar with modern Link to the Past randomizer, dark rooms can be in logic with the fire rod. That's not the case here.
Yeah, that lamp basically it grants greater weight to the idea that maybe we have to do escape and walk all the way to the back. We'll see, depending on who a glow shows up. But yeah, and in a Zelda rando that's run these days, you can get back there logically with a fire rod. So, which I find funny because I can do dark rooms, but I don't know where the torches are. I just
Yep.
go.
Yesterday's seed, I think, if you remember, Scupula had that hammer in the back, and so some people probably did those dark rooms before finding the first glove, but not going to be the case today.
And then, of course, it opens, the thoughts of going toward your usual trappings of, like, Eastern big key chest, Aghanim, if a sword or cape, 2 swords shows up, whatever. There again, pending the glove, moon pearl, things like that.
Yeah, and forgive me if I missed it. I don't think we even saw a map check on either runner yet, so
Nope.
we're not too sure if, a lot of times you'll see runners head to that eastern area if it's a pendant, thinking, well, I don't have to finish this, so let's just go. But there it is. 2 red crystals in Hera and Eastern, and then a pendant. It might have been the good one. Yes, it was. Checking the restream. Good pendant over at Desert. So really packed light world.
Yeah, you see that. I mean, you're gonna need a chunk of dark world, but there's still 2 pendants over there. I mean, I don't want to curse from yesterday too hard, but my money's on Thieves Town.
Always bet on Thieves Town, even if it's a pendant.
We go Thieves Town and Pod, and we're gonna have a great time.
The 2 pendant dungeons everyone loves to skip, but are always loaded. But Maniacal taking a bit of a beating from those overworld Lightworld crabs. They do hit like a truck. They are the hardest hitting Lightworld enemy at 2 full hearts on green mail. Gets rewarded for $300.
Yeah, and I think that put him over 5. Whether he realized it or not, still it's basically, oh no, it's not quite 500 yet, but even so, it'd only be 1 check at the Zora location. Usually you see a fake flipper there from Ice Rod Cave. Maybe later.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting seeing what runners prioritize early. You know, do you do those sequence breaks hoping to find something that makes life a little easier, or do you just stick to logic knowing that the game's going to have to give you something important pretty soon?
Yeah, I think logic is kind of important to follow early in this, and that might be why Maniacal's over here. Just because that lamp, you know, he may, yeah, he's not saving quitting, so I'm guessing he's running into Eastern, you know, see if the back is necessary here. Nope, just turning the gears.
Yep, definitely wouldn't have been opposed to an Eastern play there. Like you were saying, Scupula, there's not much left, but it doesn't look like he's going for the escape play, heading back to buying some bombs. There we go.
He's got 3. Must want to just do escape at this point, and that's a fair play too. That lamp again.
Yep. It's a pretty solid call there, and yeah, just filling up on the bombs, make sure you can do that bomb escape properly.
So, bush crabs, you probably mentioned this with the bush crabs kicking out the 20s. Blazor's got his 500, so he might decide to actually do Zora after all this. We'll see.
Yeah, really farmed up those big 20s. Definitely not a bad play, especially early on. You know, if you have to go to Zora, that's 500 of your rupees. You need another 220, excuse me, in the Dark World. You know, so total rupees, about 750 will get you everything you need to do. So not a bad idea. Obviously, if you haven't seen that 300 over in Ice Rod Cave, might feel a little silly, but it never hurts to farm up early, especially with the Super Metroid items in Link to the Past. You're not necessarily guaranteed those early rupees.
Like I was kind of saying before, the only problem with the Zora play is you're going to leave 2 checks, and 3 if you count the one you can't get. And then number 4, Zora itself, is out of logic. So you might just been hoping for a Moon Pearl or something to that, like, you know, Boots, Moon Pearl, any of that will open up some more of them. But again, we'll see what he does. But then, yeah, go ahead and check out Maniacal here. Going to go ahead and clear out up to the 6 items. Actually, was there something in Sanctuary? I forget.
You're really testing me now, Scupula.
Yeah,
I don't. If it wasn't important.
It's like 5 seconds in. I don't know.
Yep. Doesn't have the key on his tracker, so it's not that.
Anyway, 5, 6 items, something like that, depending on how far you get here. If the key's in front here, then you can walk all the way to the back logically.
Yep, but deciding to do a play that I really like, especially in SMZ3, stealing that first key. Like you were alluding to, Scupula, the key's not in Sanctuary and not in that first chest. So that means logically that key is either in Dark Cross or in the very back. So not going to leave those items behind. Going to grab those 3 items from the back and guarantee that he's not orphaning those. I do like this, and we do see that fake flipper from Blazer. Really nice quick setup on it too. Well done.
Yeah, all that stuff you just said and what he's doing is all, I don't know. I'm not that complex when I run. I just go do the things.
Go to get item, do things fast.
Like, I'm afraid I'm going to steal a key and lock myself out of something somehow.
So Blazer just getting 20 bucks from our good friend camping under the bridge there, and we do have a map, so it is going to be a key in the back. So just 2 items in the back plus that key for Maniacal. But again, we'll see if this play pays off. Otherwise, it's just waiting for that glove. But it does look like Blazer is, going all in on that play. Farmed up the money and is gonna go to Zora. Oh, be careful, Maniacal. Taking some bomb damage there off the rats, but gets the key.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get a visual check on Zora's ledge here, and then he's gonna go ahead and buy the item, just 20 bucks on the ledge.
Yep, and a whole lot of nothing in the back of Escape too, but I'll say a lot of nothing but peace of mind for Maniacal, knowing that those are checks that someone's probably going to make later anyway, and the only time lost is what it took to get back to the front of the castle and all the way back through escape there. So Blazer being very careful on that one heart, though, getting all the way to Zora.
Zoras are so angry. They were chill in Ocarina of Time, which I guess is chronologically earlier. I don't know. I guess they just tired of being frozen.
I seem to have misplaced my copy of the entire canonical timeline of Zelda, so I'll trust you.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Blazer decides to go into Eastern, quickly running out of the logical checks here. So it could very well be the Eastern play. It could be these last few checks here for Maniacal. So we'll find out. Otherwise, hey, we could get that rare seed where it's vanilla, morph pedestal, or even the item in the ceiling.
Yeah, and we have to hand double the weight to Retro Brinstar, the Morph Ball, and the Brin Ceiling, because in hard logic, they're both logical from the start, so a good chance of progression is there.
Yep, that ceiling deboost in logic. A couple of the other main things to note that hard logic puts in to logic, I guess. Certain hell runs with E-Tank parameters are in logic. The wall jump up to gauntlet is in logic. Suitless Meridia, like you were talking about earlier, Scupula, is in logic again with certain item presets. So definitely things that these runners are going to keep in mind as they find items for SM. As we pull Bombos out of the maiden cell, so it does look like Blazer's on the right track here.
Yeah, it's either that or the Retro Brin thing. We'll see. Bombos will be nice to have, since it is good for Ice Palace, even if it's not good for Misery Mire or Turtle Rock entrance. I think AFG has a question in chat for you there.
Yeah, I don't know how he knows I have a beard. It's very strange.
Yeah, I think it probably had to do with the, I don't know if you heard, there was a thing in the news, a congressional committee was set up to try and figure out just how exactly here in Speed Gaming we fit all this beard in this booth here tonight. Like, how do we get through the door? I don't know.
I love it.
I have been waiting to say that. Now check this out. Blazer Gaming pulls a gravity suit, which...
Oh, man.
Yeah, out of the map chest here in Eastern now, by itself... I don't know, they got a morph ball. Does that do something?
I honestly still can't say we've found a power bomb pack.
Yeah, I think we might have had one, but that would be probably a question for our tracker tonight, Matt Ewok Herd. Props, Matt Ewok Herd, by the way.
Absolutely. Tracker's always the unsung heroes in these races. Two bearded gentlemen can sit here and talk about the game all night, but the true hero is the tracker. So big props. And there we do get a power bomb pack. So morph ball, power bombs, gravity suit. So we could be heading into SM pretty quickly here. As Maniacal says, I'm not even going to worry about that gravity suit that I don't know about.
Yeah, this makes sense because he's been around a while, and any runner can tell you that you do this long enough, you don't want to go into Eastern with a bow. It really doesn't take that long, but you just don't feel good about it. So we'll see what's down here. Still a chance could be something.
Yeah, definitely could be. I think we can check. Here we go to Bomb Terizo as well. As long as you are comfortable, with your Alcatraz escape, no worries about checking this item.
And it's an E-Tank, and it's like you were saying before, minus a Various suit, E-Tanks are progression. So you want to get it.
And with 3, correct me if I'm wrong, Scupula, because my E-Tank logic is a little squiffy right now, but I think 3 is the magic number for the Ice Beam check.
I want to say, it's 2 or 3 for Ice Beam, probably 3. 2, I think, is what they want for wreck ship with the spikes, and then 5 for the rest of Upper Norfair.
Oh, that makes sense. Come on, Maniacal. There we go. Maniacal gonna go ahead and get that Alcatraz escape there. So Blazer Gaming having a couple extra checks here with those powerbomb packs. Could go all the way up to Billy Mays, could even go over to Red Tower and check, Alpha Peebs and that area too.
Yeah, so indeed, that was the only powerbomb pack since Maniacal does not have one. And
Oh man.
so he's just going to be limited to just a couple down here. A bunch of supers, which are progression. The first one is, but I don't think it does a lot of good without some bombs. Not those bombs. We don't want those bombs.
Samus doesn't know how to light a fuse in space. It's definitely interesting too. Like you were pointing out, Scupula, a good chunk of super missiles and missiles already. It's fun to watch runners up until you find that charge beam. You're almost hoarding those super missiles because they are a precious commodity early on. But once you find that charge beam, you'll see runners just start skipping a lot of missile pack.
Maniacal.
Oh, come on, game.
I hope that's
come on, game.
See, so this feels good. These are good items. I just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I don't think Maniacal's in any real hurry to run back and start digging, but
that's really all Maniacal can do right now, because again, still missing those explosives, so can't check Billy Mays, can't check those alpha missiles that Blazer just got, can't even take that space jump up to either Gauntlet or Criteria power bombs, so gonna have to go back into Link to the Past.
And of course, since those were good items, he's going to have to walk out too, because you're not going to leave those behind. But
and Blazer taking a slightly different route, not even going down into Retro. Probably going to get that later once they hit Green Hill Zone. Pop over there. But we see a sword in the back of the Gauntlet. Hello, friend.
The time I'm watching Maniacal doing the down grabs, I think is what those are. Just like, and I'm just like, I've tried it. I understand it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's definitely that threshold of understanding a trick versus being able to pull it off and just seeing that smooth SM movement. Just a blast to watch. But Blazer gonna give us some look over here into Bryn Loop, at least the start of the Bryn Loop. So we do have this mock ball over here in Logic, in hard mode. Probably one of the first tricks a lot of Super Metroid speedrunners learn is this mock ball here. A mirror, hello. So and there's a Varia too. So that power bomb pack in Eastern really the MVP right now.
Yeah, and that's funny because I've been told that one power bomb pack is guaranteed for the first sphere. Usually you see more than that, but
I think you're right. Yeah, it's one is guaranteed. Two you hope for.
Yeah, unless Agina has one, I think that's it. So Blazer is going to get slowed down a bit on account of only having 5 here. Around Pink Brain is when you'll see it, but hopefully maybe before then we'll find another one.
Yeah, gonna farm up on these B-Toms though. They are gonna drop some power bombs, get him back up to 5, so feels good there. But yeah, chat pointing out rip suitless. So hopefully Hard Logic rears its head in a different way tonight. But both suits at, what are we, 20-ish minutes, Scoopula?
Yeah, and of course, even if just for movement, it's nice, but there's Maniacal with his gravity, so nice thinking, well, maybe I should have done this first. But anyway, the defensive upgrades are nice also. And I was going to say, even with that, looks like we got 3 and 4 tanks already, so not doing too bad Metroid-wise.
Yeah, 4 tanks, and it looks like at least 1 reserve on Blazer's side. Yeah, both suits, something that, again, if you're unfamiliar with how Super Metroid Randomizer works, In the vanilla game, if you have Gravity Suit, it thinks you already have Varia Suit, so it doesn't do damage calculations based on having just one suit. But in the randomizer, they did split out the damage reduction, so having both suits, like you were saying, Scupula, is definitely going to help these runners get that full damage reduction.
You can see now Blazer's headed into this Fireflea's room here, the little known farm spot, I guess, or little known to me. But it was just to get one power bomb, and well, when you only have 5, you do want every one you can, because you might be farming air holes for a long time otherwise. Still might.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking like trying to place those power bombs in just the right spot to break multiple spots at once. Looks like just barely missed on that first one, so I had to spend a second power bomb. But did break the door on the right side that we're going to see in a little bit, and of course coming into the side hopper room.
So now Matty Walker earlier pointed out that we only do have 2 items here in Eastern, so there's, as Maniacal's going to find out shortly, 1 still on Armos. So we're going to need a bow to finish that off.
Yep, but as you and I already know, and of course chat, the real prize being those power bombs.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Wave Gate, definitely a trick worth learning in the. It feels like it doesn't pay off as often as it should, but when it pays off, it feels great.
Yeah, the biggest prize out of this one is you don't leave a single check behind, because that's the worst part of all. I mean, even the normal logic, and that's regular bombs, so that's very, very welcome. That's going to significantly reduce any potential farming that goes on now.
Yep, no farming, reduce the chance of a soft lock. You know, I wish I could say I've never gone to check Spazer and then realized I ran out of bombs. But the possibility is real, so like you were saying, very welcome.
So yeah, Blazer's got 1 left, and then there's a couple of, and you know what, I studied names of enemies, and I forget what these are. So they're just slugs, but they have power bombs.
I was just about to say I call them slugs, so it works out. But like you were pointing out, Scupula, that morph ball just giving crazy amounts of divergence already, as we have Maniacal saying, you know what, I got 3 tanks, I got plenty of missiles, I got gravity, let's go kill Fantoon.
I mean, Blazer's got the right idea here. I don't know why. That's when I said about farming air holes, you're probably wondering like why, because this is all you got to do. It never occurred to me. It's just like those Firefleas. Like somebody had to tell me, oh yeah, those are over there. You can get power bombs.
Yep, finding out what enemies drop power bombs can really save you in the routing here, as Maniacal grabs Plasma, just further increasing everything in Super Metroid right now. Looks like almost the reverse of yesterday's normal seed, where it was an SM sandwich where you had Link to the Past to start, complete SM, and then Link to the Past to finish. Now it's looking like we're doing a lot of SM.
So that's a nod to the people who really like SM, because that means the SM is the cream filling. Let's eat his dry cookies. But yeah, Plasma early is real nice. And, you know, Screw Attack or Plasma, those are the 1-2 as far as making Metroid darn near free.
Very true. And it's, I don't know about you, Scupula, but it's one of those things, like if I see X-Ray early, I might not pick it up. But if I already have Charge or Plasma, I'll pick up X-Ray. Just because then it's like, all right, now I'm only 1 thing away from the microwave beam.
Yeah, exactly. When you have 1 thing already, it's more enticing.
Although it can wreak havoc on your menuing. Blazer, really nice wall jumping there. Not even being punished for not having that space jump that Maniacal has. But yeah, coming into this room of side hoppers, fun fact, I guess, if you want to call it that I learned early on from watching some of the higher tier runners. Those big side hoppers have exactly 301 health, or 302. Either way, it's 1 super missile and 1 pea shooter will take them out.
Yeah, it did occur to me at some point. I mean, I guess a lot of times I use regular missiles, but yeah, 3 of those, and then whatever. They're the embodiment of, I have 1 HP, I'm fine.
Yep. And then, yeah, they do hit like an absolute truck. Speaking of hitting like a truck, Maniacal taking down Fantoon, no problem. It always impresses me how quickly some of these runners can menu to get to those super missiles in the middle of a Doppler.
Yeah, I didn't even cycle count, but I'm thinking over here, yeah, there was a Fantoon there at some point. Not anymore.
Let's just say Maniacal got rid of it before we could even notice that Maniacal was doing the Fantoon fight.
So there's... No, wait a minute. Oh, did... Okay, I was going to say, Blazer can save a power bomb here, but he must have already...
Yep, I honestly think he ran out, and I did see him use a regular bomb to get up that shaft
Oh, yeah.
into Billy Mays. But of course, Billy Mays, now that you have both suits and space jump, is worthless. But Maniacal picking up 2 extra power bomb packs here in the wrecked ship, so at a very comfortable 15 already.
Yeah, it took me a while to get this way. I've been running for about a year, but yeah, 5 is not fun. I recently tried running a seed with just 5, and here's another one. Now we're done for sure, but 5 isn't so much of a good time. 10, you can do most stuff comfortably. You know, above that, you have no wants.
Yep, and Big Box pointing out in chat, 15 really is that sort of magic number, because then if you really need to, you can do the Crystal Flash to get some health back. And yeah, without the Ice Beam, that's what gets you through Turian. But yeah, early game, 10 is what you want to see. By late game, if you don't have that Ice Beam, you're going to want to get another pack. But now that we've sort of broken through the cusp of 10, something tells me the game's just going to throw Powerbomb packs at Maniacal for a little bit.
Yeah, and I guess it's another part of strategy to consider for anybody who runs this game, considering running it. So, big difference between Super Metroid and Link to the Past, okay? In Link to the Past, you have a few spots of what we like to call freestanding items, where they're just there on the ground, you can see what they are before you pick them up. That's every item in Super Metroid. So, whenever you have, just about enough of stuff, you can just stop picking it up, because you can pretty much expect that you're gonna, reluctantly, automatically, whatever you want to call it, pick up items just going through Zelda normally. So you can play odds, I guess, in a way. Just figure you're going to get, a few more of whatever it is that you would want.
Yep, and my personal favorite part of the combo randomizer is, you may have noticed, but we're not hearing that 8-second fanfare with every item pickup in SM. So it's a lot more enticing to grab some of those maybe items, like a heart container a little bit later in the game, or even an E-tank, or the missile pack or super missiles, because you're not punished waiting that full fanfare. It's just quick, pick it up, and you're on your way.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's pretty much why I play this instead of just playing regular Super Metroid, because they want to keep the full 6 point whatever second. But even with that said, there's no fanfare. There's a click and a pause of about a second. Well, you'll still see the really, you'll see runners in a big hurry trying to, just even if stuff is half decent, like if it's an extra super pack or a heart container or something, they'll still skip it. It'll just, open the ball, turn around, leave. Because races are not uncommonly won and lost by a matter of seconds. So even across a 3 hour, 2, 3, 4 hours of a randomizer that we usually see with this.
Yep. And Blazer really happy to have those morph bombs now going through the gauntlet. Gonna go get that sword that was scouted earlier. Doesn't have to burn through just those 5 precious power bombs, not knowing that another 15 are sitting there over at the wreck ship for him.
And of course, it's going to wisely use regular bombs here. Sometimes this can get iffy. You drop in a lava a bunch, but when we have both suits, who cares?
Both suits, 5 and a bit tanks with reserves, feeling fine. It was on the left side, Blazer. Grabbing that heart piece anyway, though.
I just see Maniacal physically just KO through the Chozo statue.
Some of these runners who just do some of these tricks without even thinking, and then you see it in the strangest places.
It's Chozo Butterfingers. You heard it here.
Gravity suit's wet from the wrecked ship, so couldn't quite hold on.
That just brings up a point, since it's inactive until you have space jump, the other one of those Chozos, a gravity and ball form. I think we're overdue for a progression item down there. Yeah. There's no comms curse here.
Not at all. I haven't seen a seed where GT had both the fire and ice rod before.
Yeah, I think we're talking about the same one. It was a couple months ago.
It was a horrible seed, but it was fun. Yep, and Maniacal just already threw wreck ship. Really quick work there. So I mean, we kind of called it out that Fantoon was there and gone before we even noticed. But that is our first required boss kill. Forgot to point that out a little bit ago. So Maniacal is up on the boss count.
Yep, in the standard Z3 seed, you need 7 crystals plus Aghanim 2. So that's 8. Here we need 12. I'm just trying to recap here. The rest of wrecked ship, besides power bombs, nothing really doing, huh?
Yep, not a lot. So it does make you think that, sort of the Kraid area is probably going to have our next main progression. Because all we really have for Link to the Past, we do have that mirror and that sword. So mirror does get us into Hera via the business center. But other than that, not much we can do back on the Link to the Past side.
Yeah, it's funny because if anybody's familiar, I'm sure there's a lot of people, but yeah, familiar with Zelda running, you can get locked out of quite a bit without that glove, even though by itself it doesn't do much. Well, here we got ways around that, and they're not fun, but it'll happen.
Yes, there was that mushroom somewhere in the wreck ship as well. Tracker.
Oh yeah.
And yes, it was over there. One of those interesting items that, not available on the tracker just because it's very precious real estate right now here on the screen. But yeah, something to keep in mind that they can technically go turn that in, because in the light world, all you need to do is get rid of some bushes.
Yeah, and that shovel's still outstanding, come to think of it.
Yeah, good point.
But I think you're going to see both runners hanging out here for a while. It's just plain old more stuff to do and required stuff.
Yep, it's one of those things where you always want to think about the density of checks as you're moving through the game. Yes, I could go turn in that mushroom and I could go dig up something, but like you're saying, Scupula, there's a lot more to do still in SM, so let's just stay here.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see somebody do one-offs, wait till I get on here. That's what I do.
Nothing wrong with doing some clown routing. Really nice Doppler there by Blazer in round 2, I think. And Fantoon looking pretty dead here, so probably the last round here on Blazer's side.
Yeah, Blazer's got some good saturation going, so there's no question about things like the tint of a boss, be it Ridley, this one.
Yes, sir. Makes it a little easier to tell when they're almost dead.
I don't know, there's a charm to it. You know, back in the day, this game was new and all this. Everybody's game looked different. Everybody's TV looked different. It was not like today.
TVs weighed more than I do now. But looks like Maniacal's saying, hey, I have space, I have gravity, let's at least do the front of Meridia here. Not going to be able to get all the way to the back, but can still check a good chunk of Meridia here.
Yep, Main Street is good and out here. I mean, supers, but that's just not possible, so we're not going to worry about that. Especially seeing as Maniacal, I'm guessing, is going to wind up with plenty real soon, since Blazor already has 35.
Yep. Blazer has done sort of that complete Bryn loop, and Maniacal hasn't. Maniacal went right to wreck ship. So a couple of items still in the Bryn loop that Maniacal's probably going to want to pick up, i.e. that sword and the mirror and the Varia suit, but Maniacal fully capable of doing the game without Varia if needed.
Yeah, see, and as I was listening, because I was trying to remember, okay, what was down here really necessary? Because there's enough swords, you might not need that one. Varia, like you just said, I mean, I need it, but not these guys. Anyway, but the mirror, more than likely, is going to be hard required for something. So he'll be there at some point.
Yeah, and even if it's not required, it's definitely one of those items in Link to the Past that just makes routing so much cleaner. Whether it's in the dungeons, being able to just, pod especially comes to mind, being able to just zip back to the front of the dungeon quickly, or just routing in Dark World with Light World checks. That mirror is going to come in handy for even just routing.
So let's see, I forgot where Blazer was right now, but just did a 4-button or console reset or whatever it is. Oh, is this the wreck ship reserve?
Yep. It's, depending on the runner and depending what it is and how quickly you can reset, definitely, especially without gravity, I've found worth the save and then, resetting if the item's nothing.
Michael really wanted those 3 bombs. You might be short. Some people can keep track of it.
I was just about to say I wouldn't be shocked if Maniacal's keeping track of things just either on a notepad or in his head, whether it be trying to get like a certain number for a clear rate at the end or just, hey, I need bombs.
So anyway, we had a question / consideration from, I think, Big Block a while ago. I'm trying to think if Lower Norfair is accessible now, or if, well, I mean, it is, because it's Super Metroid, you can do anything with nothing, but logically, I think it might require a high jump.
Yeah, with the space jump, though, you can get through the acid, and then, like you were talking about, that chorizo statue, the Chozo statue, that's going to require space jump, so can get down, check the gold chorizo items, and who knows, maybe that mirror getting into Checkerboard Cave, maybe that's the logical flute or something gross.
All right, so what we're seeing here from Maniacal's side, this is the room is full of these enemies called, and I got this one, check this out, yards, they're called. That's amazing, I know. Really, they're snails. Anyway, if you park one in the right spot like you just did, you can just jump straight through the wall and get, apparently today, absolutely nothing for it, but at least it didn't take very long.
Yeah,
that's required. I mean, that's full logical, that trick right there.
Yeah, always one of the fun ones, and like we were saying, it's hard logic doesn't necessarily take into account, hey, this is something the runners might have to do, so I'll put items there. It's just, we know the runners might have to do this, so it's very interesting to watch sometimes. Yeah. As we have a fire rod in the left, did I see that right? A fire rod in the left pit?
It was a fire rod. He's going to check the other one and potentially route this on the way back. I think not too long ago we were the bomb bus over there, didn't we? In the same spot, so I mean,
big fire sources underwater.
So yeah, he's gonna check this one, and if there's a way to check Shack Tool with this loadout, I'm not aware of it. I'm pretty sure you don't.
You could technically crystal flash clip, but I don't think that's in even hard logic. Someone can probably call me out and chat on that.
None of that is not even.
Okay.
The ice clip's easier, and that's not even a hard logic. It's just you don't see CF clip too much here.
No, it's definitely one of those. I only have Meridia left, and I'm not coming back checks.
So anyway, right-hand sandpit was a whole pile of nothing. And then again, no ice beam, no speed booster, either which. Speed booster is how you were supposed to get through this normally. The ice beam, you can use a Metroid clip. That's logical in hard logic, but without either one, there's either a very difficult way to get to Dragon from here or no way at all. And we're just going to pick up the fire rod and come back later.
Yep, and it might be one of those things too where Maniacal just thinks, if I need to, I'm gonna come back, maybe even backdoor Meridia, check the Batoon item, kill Dragon from the backside, and just never have to worry about it again. So just clearing out the front of Meridia here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not like it's not paying out like it seems to frequently happen. I mean, that fire rod's very, very rarely not needed, so...
Yep, and like you were saying, Scupula, Maniacal just saying, I'll grab that on my way out, grabs the fire rod, which, again, doesn't give us anything right away, logically, which is wild to think that, we're, again, kind of running low, but here we come into the crate area, we can get all the way to Bubble Mountain. Yeah, I spoke way too soon. We're not running low at all.
Yeah, one thing comes to mind. I guess that means my brain is still working tonight. Now, Maniacal doesn't know it yet, but that does open up Hera Basement, the fire rod.
Yep, we still have that lamp, though, too, Scoop.
Oh.
I do it all the time when I'm running. I'm just like, oh, I can do this and I can do this. Oh, right, I've had this
Are
item.
we on any kind of a delay? Can we delete the part about the brain still working? Can we go back and do it? No. Okay.
We'll get our tracker on that right away to delete that for you. Again, shout outs to Maidwalker.
There's enough stuff that is progression that we don't have on there just on account of layout. I mean, I'm sure we could redo it. I'm sure we could squeeze another 3-4 rows in there, honestly. I don't know about the 4-player layout, but...
True. And I mean, if we think about it, we have several items that aren't on the tracker. We have that lamp, mushroom, shovel. So we have a couple of items that just aren't on the aren't on the tracker. As oh look, Maniacal took down another boss before we could call it out.
Yeah, the runners are just the sideshow. Sorry, SG. They're just doing things. We're over here clowning, just like we do when we run. Did you get the quick kill?
Oh yeah, Maniacal got the super quick kill. Made it look like that's the way the developers intended to. Just quick as you like. No muss, no fuss. Crade down. Wow, but a whole lot of nothing in Crade.
Yeah, it's just 3 spots. You don't see it much, especially when we've seen the loaded areas that we've seen already. But like Maniacal just didn't even care what was in that E-tank spot. He was just jumping before it was visible.
Yep. Definitely one of those things you'll see a lot of muscle memory from runners too, where they'll run into a room, shoot to reveal an item, and collect it before they even see what it is, just because it takes so little time to pick up the item in the randomizer, and they're just like, okay, cool, I'll see what it is as I'm picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try to get in their heads a little because they're gonna have to come in for an interview later. Well, they don't have to, but kind of they do. And we can say, hey, about that time, remember you really wanted that single rupee? Remember that? How cool that was? Yeah. So.
Oh, right. I should be taking notes. And speaking of taking notes and forgetting things, I forgot Maniacal doesn't have that Varia suit yet. So taking damage here in the heated room to get that powder from Ice Beam. Interesting.
Yeah, and Maniacal's a good runner, so whenever he does get around to Green Brinstar and finds this stuff, he's gonna know that things like this, quote unquote, snap back into logic. And of course, the powder doesn't do anything progressively without the
Nope,
hammer.
still missing the hammer. Yep. But it is nice to see, especially when you have that mushroom early, and not have to worry about, okay, do I want to save the mushroom until I have cane and do fake powder, or do I just want to turn it in case it is my progression? So at least you have both, so you don't have to worry about that decision. But we're going to catch it this time, Scupula. We have a boss on Blazer Gaming's side. Here we
He's
have
over there.
Kraid.
Kraid is ready to game. He's here. Oh, wait, no, here he goes. Never mind.
Nope, nap time. Bye, Kraid. So checking the high jump area again, this is where Blazer has a little bit of an advantage over Maniacal, having that mirror. So can go to the mountain here, and instead of just checking 2 items at the old man and Spectacle Rock, could get the item on top of Spectacle Rock and even go into Hera if so desired. And complete it because Blazer has a sword.
I bet you we can cut in the lamp on the tracker. I don't think we need a Mother Brain and Ganon button, do we?
How many Crocomire fans do we have in chat? Because Croc's gonna go bye-bye here soon.
Maniacal's. I mean, this is all logical. He doesn't know it, but gonna go ahead and clear out all this upper Norfair stuff, and I guess that is the density right now.
gonna grab that refill there too. Say, hey, cool, energy tank. I'll take that.
Yep. That's the one time you really want to see it here. Doesn't matter how much of a turnaround it is, you're gonna get a refill.
Yep, and doing these heated rooms, that's where you want to see it. Like you were just saying, Scupula. So paying off for Maniacal now has more energy because he did the double back than he would have had without it.
He's still going to be a smart person, unlike somebody currently speaking right now, and actually save when he gets here.
We've all done it.
You think you're okay, but then you're not.
Yep. Then you take a little bit too long of a lava bath, and then you go, oh, okay, cool, never mind. Big Baked, that Varia was in the Bryn loop. I forget exactly where in the Bryn loop, but
behind the reserves.
There we go. Yep. Mock ball behind reserves. Thank you, Scupula.
So speaking of those reserves, Norfair not paying today, so just going to reset. It's a little faster doing this. It's good to remember, I suppose.
And I apologize, Scupula. I have to dash for a second. I got a dog growling at me right now, so I gotta go feed her.
Fun fact, Tiberius named his dog Kraid. I'm just kidding. Unless I'm not. I don't know. We'll see. So, rest upper Norfair is 2 checks here at the speed booster spot and 2 checks at the wave beam spot. Let's see what those are right quick, and those are flippers. So between that and Bombos, we have Ice Palace pending the Moon Pearl, which is still at large. Probably be at the end of all this, whatever this chain that we're on. When we play SMZ3, we are looking for some kind of a round thing all the time. It's just not the one that turns you into a round thing today. Quick check inside Spec Rock. Right quick, more power bombs. We don't care. Did we see a glove? Did I miss that? We do see a flute. All this stuff that'll do good later. Just finding everything backward. A one-way gate. That was a croc escape. Okay. Yep, totally missed that. But with all this stuff available, that glove's going to unlock some stuff. Although, minus a hammer and a moon pearl, I'm actually not sure it still would on its own.
Again, sorry about that. Looking at chat, looks like we have a flute.
Yeah, we saw a glove, apparently a croc escape. Flute was in front of the wave beam. So we're just finding everything backward today. Is Maniacal, what's he doing? Trying to glitch a door open or something? Oh, did you see what that was? Oh, he was shooting, but I guess damaging down to CF here. Looks like more of what the main purpose of that was, but not sure what he was shooting at.
Yeah, not too sure.
Must have seen something here at the bubble missile. It's a cane.
All right, that's probably going to be required.
I mean, the end-game stuff, you want it. Here it is.
Yep. At the very least, you want it for the Ganon's Tower Gauntlet, just to get rid of those whiz ropes really quickly.
Yeah, we haven't even seen Dark World. We don't even know how much that cane's required for, and we're finding all this stuff. Maniacal is, yeah, true to form. I'm going to go ahead and glitch that gate from the back and do probably the entirety of Croc's area, ending with the glove on the way out. All logical, by the way, hard logic.
Yep. So yeah, Blazer reaping the benefits of that early Bryn loop, not having to worry about crystal flash ammo or any of that, just being able to go through these heated rooms with that various suit.
Yeah, Maniacal's taking this pre-croc save, we'll call it. Just in case none of this is anything at all, you're going to see a 4 button. Just so you can go get that glove. It's not a commonly seen save room, but...
Yeah, presumably won't have too much trouble getting it with that space jump, but you never know. You know, Samus can decide just not to spin jump once in a while.
Yeah, Sanders is here. Sanders knows.
Yep, always fun to see people who decided not to run hanging out in chat. So, yeah, Sanders, it's one of those Ice Palace logic is something I tried to learn a long time ago and then realized so quickly that you need like a page of notes just to figure it out. So I threw that all out the window.
It's like I said before with stuff like me, I just do the things. Just do them.
Can I do this? Yes, it is in logic.
If you're too slow, guess what? Do it faster. Croc with the health bomb and 1 piece of heart. Let's see what the coffers are holding on to, but like I said before, Maniacal can just reset straight to front of the glove if this kind of garbage stuff keeps up here. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you, Buck. That's that's fair. I think we've gone long enough. If it's not there, it's a Hoda Ruby missiles.
I'm telling you, checkerboard cave, and it's the
Hey,
access to it. Well, no, we have flute now, so maybe it'll lock the mitts. I don't know.
it'd be funny. Yeah, with a flute, we can go to checkerboard the normal way, except you're missing 2 gloves.
Yep. I mean, once Blazer gets that glove from Croc Escape, goodness gracious, talking is difficult today. Once Blazer gets that glove, I mean, checkerboard is in logic for Blazer with that mirror. So we'll see. Nice gate glitch.
Yep, there here comes. There's the 4 button. So, Croc's out of the way. I did not. That's the fastest you can do Croc, basically. And, if it's nothing, great. You can use a save, you're in good shape. If it's something and you don't do it, you're in huge trouble. So, it's a good play.
Bakht, we are grabbing glove in 3, 2, 1 now. Yep, and like Scupula, like you were pointing out earlier, glove's one of those things where you just sort of assume you at least have one when you're running through Link to the Past, and you end up going to the back of Spike Cave or something, and you try to lift the rock, and you go, "Oh right, I can't do that."
Yeah, there's a couple of those little automatic things like the rock in Dark World between 0.7 and Stumpy. If you go that way. I'll go that way, try to pick it up, save a screen transition or 2. No, can't do it. Gotta go take the walk of shame. But no longer.
Oh right, this is a combo game. Maniacal back in Link to the Past. Gonna go rescue an old man.
You don't see this logically very often, do we?
Nope, a lit up old man cave. Very rare. Definitely one of those, like we were talking about earlier, those early tricks you learn in Super Metroid, like the mock ball to early supers. That old man rescue is one of those early dark rooms that you learn in Link to the Past Randomizer.
So anyway, Blazer's doing his Croc stuff here. Did pick up the heart container. I didn't actually see if he did the same thing Maniacal did with the saving and just be committed to keeping whatever's down here. Especially since we're picking up the arrow capacity. Oh, well,
Okay, so the shovel was nice.
that is a sphere 1 or 2 or however you count it. That shovel was available. That was burned ceiling, right?
Yes. So yeah, that'd be the, depending on, like you were saying, if you're, what's it called, like value 0 or value 1, however you count.
So yeah, that's going to be Eastern Death Mountain with nothing but that and the Morph Ball. So that may be something that Maniacal wants to do sooner rather than later. And of course, we are going to take a pause here. Play the Song of the People. This bottle guy's washing all this. I've seen this before. Nothing wrong with this. Everything's fine here. Just a bird busting out of a stone statue.
Not even phased one bit. I love it. The things they see in the land of Hyrule. All right, turning in all of these sort of one-off, not on the tracker items at once. I like this.
Yeah, flute makes this really attractive thing to do. If you don't have the flute, it's terrible. But
yep, just for $50, but gonna grab it.
Yeah, we got powder already. We don't need to save mushroom. And by the way, there again, it's another difference if you're familiar with save scumming a mushroom. in case it's not anything good. Well, if you do that here, you got to take another, 45, 50 seconds to get back to Link to the Past because we start in Super Metroid.
Yep, that's one of the things built into this combo randomizer is any soft reset's going to put you on the ship, or if you soft reset from Super Metroid, where you last saved. So, and yeah, it does look like Blazer's just going to go ahead and go into LN here. I kind of like this play.
I do like this play. This is like what I tried to do yesterday. Go to the end game last because it's logical. Very doable with the loadout, and there's just a whole line of stuff in a row on the way to Ridley and in the way out. So,
yep. I mean, you have plenty of supers to take care of LN here. You got space jump to make life a little easier for things like worst room in the game. I mean, you'd like to have either charge beam or even screw attack, something to make life just a little bit easier, but not hard required by any means. And nice green gate glitch there by Blazer, just 3 missiles.
Got the rippers for the refunds as well. So, Paradox, like you said, that early shovel, you think something would be happening here, but it always seems like, when the first 3 chests don't turn into much, seems like the last 4 don't either.
Yep, a whole lot of nothing. A little bit of health, a little bit of cash.
But it is very valid to when you have access to something that is technically available early. It's good to knock out because if you do miss something that's available that soon, especially whenever there's a bunch of runners in a race like there are here for these weeklies, you want to make sure you take care of that.
Yep, and a nice spherical item on the island, not the Morph Ball today, or the Moon Pearl, just a 5-bomb capacity upgrade. As Blazer getting into the good spot here, nice and full on super missiles, going to take out Gold Threezo, no problem.
Yeah, what was the super spot? Did you get to see that? No, you did not. Yeah.
Nope. Left side was just $20. Screw attack was super missiles. Oh, that's necessary.
Well, there was Crockbow. Crockbow's always nice, so that's deep.
Very tasty bow. And again, one of those things that you don't think about if you only play Link to the Past randomizer. There is no progressive bows in this version. It is one item is the bow and one item is silver arrow.
One more time where I can voice the fact that I prefer it that way because, especially when you're racing, if you find a bow, and hey, nobody else found some other bow that's not supposed to be the bow or whatever, but...
Yep, as we do see on Blazer's side, that Bombos medallion is going to be our entry into Mire. However, we haven't seen a map check. Oh, yes, checkerboard Merle! Yes!
Well...
Yes!
Tiberius has won the game.
All right, I'm out.
See you.
All right, later.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It's been a while, and that's a spot that the generator can point to a lot whenever you have the number of ways here that we do, glove and flute or through LN or whatever. So yeah, that's a heck of a find for Blazer. And a book.
And of course the book is there. We can already get into Desert. Thanks, game.
Yeah, so I like to call the series of cross-dimensional door keys, whether Bombos is nearby here or, if it's what gets you into Mire, or the book to get you into Desert, just all in the area.
Yep, and chat pointing out, while we were excited to see that Moon Pearl, Maniacal grabbing the hammer out of Waterfall Ferry, so... Like you were saying a long time ago, Scoopy, a little over an hour ago already, one of those early possible fake flipper checks with the Moon Pearl paying out with that hammer.
There was, I was going to say, the other way to get it is boosts or the flippers, and, well, we do have flippers.
Yeah.
So
Or
not
if you want to be
super.
really fancy, that bow plus some bombs or even red boomerang. Like there's some ways to trick the game, but the easiest way is those flippers that Maniacal has. Sorry to cut you off there, bud.
Oh no, you're right. I mean, all this stuff was late enough that it's not going to feel too bad for Maniacal. But and of course, we're over here talking about the Moon Pearl, which is normally not a huge find, but it just managed to overshadow the hammer of all things.
Yep.
So yeah,
And here,
now
look at
Pendant Ice
Pendant
Palace and Pendant
Thieves.
Thieves. Yeah, I got one of them.
Cool.
Now we have a ton of stuff. We do. So I don't know if I run to Thieves Town anytime soon. I don't know about you, but
Honestly, in Maniacal's case, I'd say yes, just because, what I really love about these is we've seen such divergence from these two runners. I mean, they don't have too much overlapping with each other. We have Blazer with the bow and the Various suit and the sword, Moon Pearl and Mirror, and Maniacal over here with the hammer, Fire Rod, and Hookshot. So it's like both of these runners think, boy, I have a lot of stuff to check. But of course, we in the omniscient comms booth know that if they were to combine, they'd be able to check most of the game at this point, sans a mitts.
yeah, I was gonna say that bow, makes Pod attractive, but Blazer doesn't have the hammer. Maniacal doesn't have a bow. But one way or another, they're both gonna have to come up with each thing and actually get it done, since it is a crystal today. But
Yep, and like you were saying too, Scoop, I feel like I've said that a lot, but it pays to reiterate some of these things. Those Rippers dropping those super missiles, letting Blazer just fill back up after killing GT.
yeah, that's 6 per trip into the room. It's not a bad payday. I'm guessing Blazer's gonna be doing Ridley here.
I don't see why else he would farm all the way back up to full. And yeah, like you were saying, 6 supers for the price of 1 power bomb, not a bad payoff.
I guess I never really thought about going in and out of that room. I'm thinking now, because a lot of times we all do our farming right in front of Ridley's front door there. And sometimes that can take a while though.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that, of all the things you'd like to have, that grapple beam makes that farm spot just a lot easier in front of Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
The rare time where you'll hear someone say, "I wish I had grapple beam."
Maniacal trying for the Herapod here and just bomb himself just enough into that pot so he can hook to the other side and walk into it. Gets it that time.
Hey, Scoop, did you see what was on Blazer's side there at Mickey Mouse?
No, I'm staring at Herapod.
It's all right. I'll give you a hint. Thanos used it. We got ourselves a Titan's mitt.
Well, we waited long enough for one. I guess having the other one right here makes some sense.
Yep. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch the rest of the seed. I mean, I know we already kind of talked about it, but the different loadouts these two runners have, this is going to make for just really fun divergence and see where they actually come back together.
Yeah, that's definitely a consideration, because they're going to have to converge in that respect at some point, but when? I don't know. I mean, here we have Maniacal Tyra Hera, and this is required. Ridley's required, and it's going to be hard to gauge a leader for a while here, I think.
Trolldorm, please.
One more super pack for the Ridley fight. You never hate to see that.
No, nice and stocked up, especially going into the gold pirates without charge beam. Just pump 3 supers into each of them and down they go. But Maniacal going to go ahead and take down Trolldorm on the second trip through to get that map. Huzzah!
So I'm guessing that leaves a basement item.
I think so. We do have a key. I mean, we saw the map. I'm assuming we saw the compass, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I saw supers in the map chest. That was the only thing I saw.
Maniacal not going back in, so either weighing the option or just saying gone. But
Yeah, must
our
have failed.
Valiant tracker's saying basement's got the compass.
Okay.
But hey, that's our first crystal at the hour and 12-minute mark, or hour 13-minute mark.
Yeah, not
We
bad.
finally have a link to the past boss down and a crystal.
Yeah, Maniacal's still short of sword that Blazer happens to have. Yeah, who needs
Yep.
him?
I mean, we might see the Bryn loop from Maniacal here. Yeah, gonna go ahead to the gauntlet. Gonna get that sword. Feel pretty. I wouldn't say bad about it just because of how little Link to the Past has been done. But yeah, definitely gonna like seeing that sword.
Yeah, I think anytime you can say you're busy doing required stuff, if you put off something that has required items in it that's not by itself required, so that's gonna your pendants, your green Bryn, your croc. As long as you're busy doing required stuff, it's fine, I think.
Yep. And quick as you like, Blazer taking down Ridley. Well done on Blazer's side.
Yeah, a few more than 30 missiles, but firing them off fast and no more dragon. Bony pterodactyl, or I don't know what it is.
Annoying boss who stole the baby.
The baby. There's small knife for Maniacal. Try to turn around there, but well, probably did actually want the missiles. We haven't seen a charge beam yet.
Vidi, that's a good point. Collective go mode, maybe a medallion, maybe even the boots for desert. And then of course we are gonna need one more sword to kill Ganon. And then we could backdoor Meridia, so yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, as I say, Maddie Walker's telling us too that I was pretty sure Blazer did dip into desert and dipped right back out because you can't do much there without boots. It's a pendant,
Yep.
but green pendant in a boots locked desert, what could be better?
Yep, and I know Maniacal's a good runner, but coming to one of these Sphere 1 locations in SM and finding your Varia suit and mirror, part of me wonders what's going through the mind right now.
Yeah, we can definitely ask that later. It's not like he was in a ton of Link to the Past dungeons. That's where you really feel bad. You find a mirror late after you've already done like 8 dungeons or something without it.
Very true.
But Blazer is, I didn't see Fireflies either. Yeah, I was gonna say he's just tearing right through here and dealing with it.
Yep, Fireflies I'm pretty sure was just a missile or something pretty garbage. So no worries there. Shield, there we go. Thank you, 613 Link. Like I said, something garbage.
Little dinner plate.
It's to go with the fighter sword that we have.
I'm a wheel adventurer. And Blazer, trying to get through all those key hunters nice and quick, without having to kill them all. It's a little testy. He's here. He's through it. Thankfully, with all that energy, But...
Yep, out of that lower Norfair area. So really, Blazer could technically backdoor Dragon and take out Mother Brain right now. There's nothing stopping them.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say we could do Dragon with the flippers instead of going back through. Because he's checked everything in there outside of like from Batu and E-Tank on, so that's just easy enough to eyeball real quick.
Yep, and all he would need out of the rest of Meridia is that fire rod in the sand pit. But Blazer, after almost a solid hour, I think, of SM, finally back into Link to the Past. It's like seeing sunlight after going through a long tunnel. He's like, right.
Yeah, and you do that, and sometimes I don't know. I do this sometimes. If you spend enough time in one game, you go to the other game, and it feels weird for like a minute. It's just trying to move. You know what I mean? Like your muscle memory isn't acclimated right away.
Oh, absolutely, and especially after running and wall jumping and sprinting with Samus to go to Link just sort of toddling around Hyrule like this.
So those morph bombs, that might be the thing that makes Maniacal feel the worst, actually. Just on account of the time you can save using them. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right there, Scupula. It's one of those things. Not even just the time save, and he's never really been low on power bombs, but just the comfort of even the bombs are just a little bit faster too than the power bombs. So those little time saves.
They don't lag and stuff like that. Stuff that runners above my pay grade would really prioritize. Lag and save a frame here or there. That kind of. Just I'm watching the side hopper strat here, just in the ball form.
Did he just hide under the legs of that side hopper? Did I see that right? Goodness gracious.
As soon as he walked into the room, I'm like, wait, what's he doing here? Hello?
I think I'd take about 3 hits from the side hoppers trying to do that. But again, just showing how smooth some of these runners can do these strats is just always a blast to watch.
I mean, in 1994... in 2021, if you're me, I didn't know you had a complex hitbox like that on an enemy. Really.
I try to take something away from every one of these seeds, even if I'm not running it, and I'm in the same boat as you, Scupula. For the side hoppers, for sure. It's like Golden Teresa, I'm just like, oh yeah, you just stand here, and they didn't program it, but seeing that side hopper strat, it's like, no, they actually did a decent job programming the hitboxes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago I learned that it's the camera company that makes the CPU for the system that runs these games, and I'm like, oh. I mean, this is a system that did a lot with a little.
Very, very true to think of how far video game technology has come, yet we're all sitting here playing games from our childhood or, from 30-ish years ago, 20, 30 years ago. And not only are people still finding tricks and ways to break the game, but, I thoroughly love playing this game on a weekly basis, and I can't really say that about a lot of my, current gen console game.
Yeah, there was there was a lot of much greater technical prowess that went on in the development of these, I think, just because the hardware wasn't caught up to what they wanted to do, and there was some real ambition at the time, I feel. I mean, not that there's not now, but I mean, hardware is just so overpowered that you can do whatever you want and doesn't even have to be optimized.
Yep, I'm going to sound like a curmudgeon for a second and say, like, current games, it almost feels like, yeah, let's just rush it out and we'll patch it later. Whereas a game like this, it's no, we want to make sure it's polished before we send it out.
Yeah. we're used to hearing about, you know, several months of delays all the time. Like, no big deal. Happens all the time.
Yes, sir. But we're getting some Village of Outcast checks here on Blazer's side, and Maniacal popping back into Link to the Past as well. I sitting at the hour 20 mark though. I am going to take a little bit of time. We'll throw it. Looks like there's. We're going to throw it in chat here, but if you're enjoying what you're seeing, give these runners a follow. We'll get their Twitch channels in chat in just a second. But they're putting on a heck of a show. You know, they're streaming for their own community, but also being on Restream like this. Thank you so much, Scoopula. Being on Restream like this is always just a little bit of extra pressure, but a little bit of extra fun too. So, you know, show some support to the runners.
So we got Dirty Boots for Super Metroid.
I forget where I first heard it, but I've heard it a lot, and I will repeat it forever because it's so true. High Jump Boots Appreciation Simulator should be the name of this game.
When I started playing this, which I guess this is like my first rando. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. And that's the only way I learned as much about Super Metroid as I have. Well, in the first place, for a little while, I was like, you know what? I realized you don't actually need a high jump. They want you to have a high jump for everything, but I'm like, yeah, we don't need it. It's fine, no big deal. Then as you start running faster and faster and doing more and more stuff, you realize, okay, you actually wish you had these things.
Yep. Hey, there's our charge beam. Look at those dwarves.
They are hard at work making it future tech. I don't know. Seems sus.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, Maniacal. What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah. We checked the tree. What's he missing? Is he missing something?
I honestly think Maniacal's banking on Pyramid Ledge being progression.
Okay, he doesn't have the Moon Pearl. Yeah.
Oh man, this is one of those plays though where, especially in a race like this, you almost think, all right, do I make a gamble and hope it pays off, or, and you know, knowing that he's leaving things like Lower Norfair. Yeah, it's not going to be in Lower Norfair. Let's just go and do this and see if it pays off. I don't know. It's a very interesting play. You know, props to Maniacal for going for it.
Well, I'm trying to think now. Is this going to give him something for the time being anyway? I mean, with the access to East Dark World? Or...
he has the mirror, but that doesn't really do anything. He can't get anywhere without that Moon Pearl, so no, it's a hard loss of time.
Start writing stuff down. Like I knew I was going to ask people stuff at some point, but I already forgot what that was. But this one is definitely something.
Yeah, I have my notebook. I need to grab a pen here.
Because yeah, I mean, if it's just the one check, then it's a little spicy. I'm blanking on that Moon Pearl right now.
Moon Pearl was over in Checkerboard.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and you know, sometimes it can be hard to think of the cross-screen links when you're trying to run the game anyway. Especially if there's 2 or more required. It's like playing cross keys. That's why I don't do it.
You and me both, Scoop. But it's like Maniacal has only had that mirror for a short time too, so that could be another thing that just wasn't on his mind when he was in SM. You know, well, I don't have the mirror, so LN is literally just LN. I have the flute, so maybe I can spike the mitts, but we know the mitts are in LN. So it's, I mean, it's interesting what's about to happen, and it's going to be really. I honestly can't think of anything that can be on Pyramid Ledge. I mean, maybe boots or speed booster that would push Maniacal a different direction.
Well, the biggest hope, of course, is that he finds something that's going to spell alternate Dark World access. However, I don't think there is anything because Blazer already has it.
Yeah, Blazer has those mitts in LN and has that Moon Pearl from Checkerboard, so we know that LN play is hard required for Dark World.
Like the cross-game portal from there back to Meyer, basically. So, yeah. I mean, if it's that or this, I mean, this isn't a bad bet. Thinking about it, I'm just trying to dig into the runners' heads a little bit.
Absolutely, and it's something that I've said before on comms. I've said before in my own streams. It's like you're hard pressed if it's just you playing the game. I mean, we're sitting here 10,000 feet in the air, and we can see that it's the wrong play. There's very rarely a wrong play. It might be a silly play or the incorrect play, but it's not a bad play. I mean, to Maniacal, this is very likely the progression, and is about to find out that it's not, and be, probably scratching his head a little bit here.
Yeah, take the heart container just on account of the time investment, but no, because he's got a mirror, he can't save and quit to the light world.
Yep, and yeah, chat pointing it out. It's like, we know Maniacal needs to get to LN, and we know Blazer needs to get over to Waterfall. I mean, those are sort of the two big plays right now for these two runners that they need to be making. And wow, Maniacal, really? Why can't I get Deadrock luck like that?
Yeah, he pretty much just ran his head right through it. But I was going to say, we're with the flute to 1. I think Maniacal knows exactly what's going on here.
Yep, race with a lot of people. You try to do something a little against the meta to see if it pays off, and when it doesn't, you say, okay, not going to let it bother me, and let's just go with it.
Yeah, I know, I've done that a whole handful of times. Like, definitely not yesterday at all.
We won't talk about yesterday anymore.
Fair enough.
We will say, though, if you want some more SMZ3 fix, these are sort of Sundays and Mondays are the weekly races. They alternate between hard mode and normal mode, and they even alternate between different co-op and even multi-world settings. So you can check those out. There's the Speed Gaming website has the sort of schedule, and you can see what's coming up when. But it's typically Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern and Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Almost got my times flip-flopped there.
So, yeah, you'll occasionally see some things going on like tournaments and whatnot, but this is I mean, it's not like Rando is niche to begin with, but this is super niche, so we just we just mess around, do what we can do with the time we have. But tournaments are a good watch if you ever get a chance to see those. But yeah, both runners do have their first club from Croc Escape, which was at least 45 minutes deep on its own. And that other one was Mickey Mouse, that room on the way to Ridley.
Yep, and Maniacal just going straight for the Gold Torizo portal here. Going to be a little disappointed in what he finds, but again, sort of equipped to the gills, going to take out Gold Torizo no problem, as we see Blazer finally heading over to East Death Mountain to collect those junk items, if I'm not mistaken, that Maniacal already had.
Yeah, I mean, it's 7 checks, so it's rare that you won't do this at some point in any run, but whether you gate glitch, again, logically to get here, or not, even if it's normal, or you do it the right way, he'll feel all right about the bow. And we'll point out that Blazer, for all the things that Blazer has done and that Maniacal is not. Maniacal does have that hammer from the Waterfall Cave, so this spells Pod Eastern. You can finish those up at our next earliest convenience.
Yep, and I will say, like, we can talk about it too. The last time Maniacal was in SM, he hadn't done the Bryn loop yet, so he didn't have mirror. So it's probably a good thing that he was putting off LN until he had the mirror. Maybe even thinking something gross could be in checkerboard.
Yeah, well, he's about to. We're going to sit here and interpret what the little pause means. He's, look at this, look at this.
So confused he doesn't know how to do checkerboard cave.
He's tilted at least 165 degrees.
The that little loading circle spinning around in the mind there. Like, oh god, what have I done to deserve getting the orb at an hour and a half?
That was funny.
I'm not writing down checkerboard cave mishap on my notebook right now.
So I heard you like playing, board games involving alternating squares.
Yeah, and the classic hour and a half Dark World map check from Maniacal. But yeah, Steel pointing out Maniacal having that Bombos medallion, able to come in here and even clear Meyer, whereas Blazer couldn't. But again, with that mitt location being pretty handy and already having the flute, not a real divergence for Blazer to come back.
Yeah, it's definitely nice finding that flute, because when you know Meyer is a crystal, you need a flute if you're playing Zelda. Now here, again, you might not. So, and that's via the cross-game portal, so if you don't have the stuff you need to clear this out the first time through and you don't find a flute, guess what? You're doing that trip again.
Oh, it always feels bad finding like a mitt or the flute over here in Meyer in SMZ3, because they're like, all right, cool. Now I know I had to go through that cross-game portal to get here.
Yeah, that's happened like once to me, and I think it was the myths in here, and it was like, yeah, okay.
But
Thanks.
once is enough.
But I mean, there's 2 items in here. We do have that one that's remaining in Eastern and all a pod to do. I haven't seen pod yet, but doesn't mean there can't be anything in here, and it is required anyway. So,
Yep, haven't seen pod. We can do pod. We can do catfish. The graveyard ledge with that mirror. So yeah, there's a couple of checks. We can actually do swamp. So there's a series of checks that we can do that no one likes to do. But there you have it. Ice Palace. Once Maniacal picks up those mitts, we can do ice, at least on Maniacal's side, because he has both the fire sources. Thieves Town. We can do Thieves Town. So, and speaking of ice, grabbing that ice rod over there, a hookshot cave on Blazer's side.
And guess what? We get to see microwavable shrimp today with that X-ray pickup, charge and plasma in hand.
Heyo, love it.
But yeah, once Maniacal gets done with this, and Ridley on the way back out, I think we're going to see him spend a whole lot of time in Zelda, comparatively speaking, because even, I mean, he's got Dragon to do, and even with that being the case, you can do Ice Palace, and somewhere in there, and it's not convenient because you're not going to be in the Dark World, but maybe after Swamp, he'll just take that cross-game portal at the Dark, what's it called, the shopping mall, I guess, and do Dragon that way, finish up the rest of that. But by then, you might not even need the plasma beam check, but...
And that's the thing, too. It's like, I can honestly see Maniacal, once he clears out Lower Norfair, gets those mitts, kills Ridley, like you were saying, I'd almost think about going right to kill Dragon and just finishing up SM right then and there. And then just spend your time in Link to the Past. But to steal a line from Apathy Duck, another SMZ3 legend in his own right, and calm in his own right, always be clearing those crystal dungeons. That's
ABC.
huge. Yep. Even, and you can even think of the 4 main bosses in SM as crystals, and something like Crocomire as a pendant. Well, today, Pendant Croc had one of those gloves, but it's one of those things where clear what you have to clear and hope there's progression in it, because you have to go there anyway, and then deal with things like pendants and Crocomire and those silly checks later. And whoa, we finally got a sword.
Armor and a sword, so I mean, not required, potentially not required, but still pretty big finds for being in Mire at this point. So
Yep, and I would be remiss if we didn't call out that this is a 1 medallion seed, because T-Rock is also Bombos today. So Blazer locked out of both the medallion requirements.
have to refresh me on the location of that again.
I think it was in so maybe chat can help us out with that one, because I too forget. I know it was early enough in one of the locations, obviously, that Maniacal went to. Oh no, Maid doesn't remember either.
It was I got it. How about this? What do I win? It was Zelda Cell, wasn't it?
Ah, yes, you're right, sir.
Way in the back there.
All right, I will tell you what. If there's any kind of prediction coming up, I will give you any points I win.
Yeah, and that might take Blazer a while, actually, because it's bad. It's not good.
Yep, and it's one of those checks that's just awkward enough that you don't feel like doing it. Again, that sort of pendant dungeon analogy, but it's got that progression buried deep.
So we have here Blazer finishing off the second crystal, Eastern Palace. Didn't see Adam drop it. Don't think it was good.
Yeah, the only item we're worried about there was the crystal, and that is actually the second 5/6 crystal. So Blazer could do the big bomb now too.
It's always a thought.
Always interesting when the first 2 dungeons down are the 5/6.
Yeah, I remember if I saw Bombus at the time, I was like, well, that's nice. Might be needed, but as we now see, hell, yeah, it absolutely is. And
Blazer picked up Wave too. Where did that come from?
I have no idea.
We're great at this.
Yeah, I know. Might have been Armus right there, actually.
That's not a bad call. Meanwhile, Maniacal abusing the cape strats on Vitreous's small eyeballs, and then 8 quick arrow shots to pick up his second crystal. So tied up on crystal counts. Technically Blazer ahead in boss counts though, because Blazer does have that Ridley kill and a really nice climb up Main Street there with that space jump on Blazer's side.
So yeah, Maniacal is wisely going to stay within the path here and finish up Ridley before thinking about anything else in Zelda. Takes a long time to get back here if you don't.
Yep, especially without that mitt that we know is buried in here. So
okay, well, yeah. Wave was Hype Cave, I guess. So
awesome, thank you, Jack.
Didn't even see the approach to that or any of that. So yeah,
I'm sure we were paying attention to a boss getting melted.
well, Blazer would have had to have been on a pretty solid route to get to it just because it's no hammer. So yeah, we're good at this. Absolutely.
They pay us for the beards, not for paying attention.
Yep. I can hold my pay in one hand too. I can hold it in no hands.
I was going to say, I opted for the luxury edition mic stand. But let's see if Blazer picks up these 3 bombs over in Watering Hole. I remember that. Why do I remember the junk items?
Because I had to point it out just so I can be a clown on here.
Nope. Decides to say no to the maniacal bombs, which I'm gonna make that happen. I don't care if I'm not well known in SMZ3 community. Let's call them maniacal bombs. Let's go.
Yeah, don't put that on your notepad, but I have it on mine. I mean, you can ask all the other stuff. I'll ask them about it. What about those 3 bombs in the Watering Hole? I mean, how did you feel after that? You know?
Just quality commentary interview coming in from Scupula and Tiberius.
So there's the myths, free access, back to Lower Norfair for Maniacal, which he will never use.
Yep, and it's like, honestly, the only thing that still scares me about a seed like this is because we were so SM heavy in the middle. If Speed Booster is late enough that we're still not in go mode, thinking about coming back to like the waterway check, it's like, do you really do that before you start clearing out pendants and like blind checking the ped? Well, we have the book, so it wouldn't be a blind check, but it's like, that's what honestly scares me about some of these seeds, is getting an item like that late that only locks 1 check.
Yeah, there's if you see that, and then I guess there's the fact that I don't think either runner eyeballed climb supers yet, so you can route the 2 of those together. Shack Tool's another one. It's basically like Waterhole and Shack Tool, or Waterway and Shack Tool. Those are the biggest amount of not fun. Like, I do Catfish 6 times before I do those.
I think I'm with you there, Scoop. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'll go out of my way and link to the past for an item because it doesn't feel as bad. But Shack Tool, I'm sorry. If I come back for Shack Tool, he's getting a plasma beam to the leg.
So Blazer was trying the yard clip there. I guess did in fact get through. Found out it was nothing.
Whoa! The Arrow of Destiny is not nothing, Scupula. It's worse. It's worse than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's. I've been playing this for a year. Between Z3 and SMZ3, probably good 700-800 of these things, and if you're ever an arrow short sometime, I mean, then you really wish you did.
I think maybe Maniacal could do that mental math and keep up with how many arrows he has, but not me. Speaking of doing the mental math, though, not quite farming up to 30 supers, but knowing I have plenty of missiles to take out Ridley here. Ridley, one of those bosses, again, that takes double damage from supers. So for every super missile you're short of the 30 required, that's going to be 6 regular missiles, because Maniacal doesn't have that charge beam yet.
Yeah, and, well, he is Maniacal. I'm sure he's counting every single one of those singles, too. Blazer's over there doing Sandput's about to be happy camper. Able to start his own fires while camping. Get it?
Camping with Gary under the bridge, right? But just like you spoke it into existence, Scoop, Maniacal, perfect, well-counted missiles on Ridley there. Says, I don't need that heart container. Sort of a cross-world E-tank like it's normally there.
Mm-hmm. The sank card to be really, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Refill and everything. But I'm trying to think for the last few minutes now. What do we need? Because I can't come up with it. I mean, everybody needs something, but
we need boots.
Do we?
Collectively, we still need the boots, and that's going to be our go mode. A couple of those quality of life items. Obviously, another sword would be nice. On Maniacal's side, anyway. Blazer still needs a Master Sword. So getting that Tempered Sword, Maniacal's already killed Vidi, which is like the main boss you want silvers for, other than Ganon. but silvers might work. Our tracker pointing out, yeah, boots are needed for DP, but DP being a pendant, so not technically required. I mean, boots would still be nice, but so yeah, I'll go ahead and retract my statement. Maniacal, technically, once he gets up to Dark Death Mountain into Hookshot Cave for that ice rod, go mode.
Yes.
Ammo mode.
So I was thinking.
No, he has enough ammo too, between supers and regulars. Even without Zeb Skip, that should be enough ammo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 55 and 105, yeah. But I don't know if he winds up doing any part of the Smith chain for that charge or not. Probably not. So yeah, I mean, I knew Desert was a pendant. I just figuring there's got to be something I'm missing here, just because the tracker is a little thin on some of this stuff. But
yeah, tracking software, yes, thin. Our tracker though, Maid Walker, Maddie Walker, acceptable pronunciations both. I've been told, keeping us honest. Definitely not thin in the tracking department there. Thank you so much again, Maid Walker, for keeping us on task here in the booth.
So we're talking about keys and torches, physically, but there is always that possibility of that other torch, and then boots will be needed. But I don't know if I've ever seen it happen in SMZ3. I also don't know when I've ever said I've never seen something before, calming a race, and then it happens.
Calm curses don't exist, Scoopula. What are you talking about?
Like, until a couple of weeks ago, the bow was randoed out of Eastern no matter what you were playing. It was just never in there. And then it was there. Because I said it.
Hey, if you have that kind of magic, I need you to calm all my races.
Check the source code for the randomizer. I think they did slip in a thing where, an item might change location, middle of the game, cheating at battleship style. No, they don't have to.
The items are placed diagonally on the board, on Maniacal's checkerboard.
Yeah, that checkerboard.
So yeah, here. All right, so yeah, Maniacal going back into Link to the Past, getting some new checks on Blazer's side, of course, in the back of Skullwoods here. Gonna get another required boss kill. Gotta love it.
Yeah, I think on both runner sides, it's time to just start getting work done. We're still under the halfway point for required prizes, I guess is the term. And of course, things like the ice rod, that's going to weigh in Maniacal's head for a while. I mean, he's going to run into it at some point, but until then, it's like, oh, here we go.
Oh, right. Yeah, Maniacal. I mean, of course, we were talking comm booth wise. We're in, no mode. Maniacal, like you were saying, about to get that ice rod once he gets over to. Oh, look, there's our silvers.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Hey.
So that's a handy spot for him there. But yeah, Maniacal gonna get those. Gonna get that go mode ice rod over here. Once he hits the Dark Death Mountain area. Also gonna say, hey, check it out. I can go into Turtle Rock. And as long as he does hookshot before Turtle Rock, can full clear Turtle Rock, which is always fun on Master Sword.
Yeah, if Maniacal does not clear the surrounding areas of Turtle Rock before going in, I think Maniacal is, banned from racing at that point. He's not allowed to get away.
We can try.
See, now I'm going to sweat because, well, I said it. Increase arrow storage. Low price of 3 unrequired dungeons. Go do it.
Yep. Not only are they unrequired, we know they are fully unrequired. No need to dip the pendants today, as Maniacal is about to hit no mode, Schrodinger's no mode, pending the boots on the big key on GT's torch. And fake no mode is the best no mode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, X-ray really wraps things up.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't have that charge beam that's on the Smiths, but again, you know, we were kind of joking about it, but Maniacal's ability to remember exactly what his ammo counts are probably knows he has enough ammo to finish the game.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, unless something shows up in TR grapple beam, quote unquote, you know, he's gonna have to do Dragon ammo kill, but
Yeah, and it's, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not surprised to see him, you know, in Super Bunny Cave here, checking these quick chests, probably trying to find that other sword just to make life a little bit easier.
right. Yeah, that one there, you know, it's a few seconds. It matters less here than it does in the Zelda run, but sometimes you maybe don't do that whenever you do have what you need because you're going to get it on the way to GT. But it's you know, 15 seconds or something. So. So Blazer's doing Graveyard Ledge for an E-Tank, which we don't need those, but Blazer is looking for that Bombus medallion still, and I don't know, for him, is that it on his side? Because
And that hammer that's over in Waterfall.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You know, SMZ3 has that strange irking ability to put something what we think of as simple as the hammer just so late in the seed, and you're fine with it because I mean Blazer's been handling progression just fine. I mean 6 required bosses down already and no hammer.
Yeah,
Big deal. I'll find it when I find it.
With extra ways to do things plus extra things to do, yeah, you can be busy for a while, whereas in Z3 you can get locked out of stuff pretty fast without a hammer.
Yep. And yeah, Vidi pointing out in chat that Blazer does still need that Master Sword at minimum.
Yeah, where was the big key in Meyer?
Compass chest, I think?
Yeah, I'm thinking Blazer's going to find that one for sure on a normal route to finding the big key. So here comes the hammer. Figured it was going to be catfish to mirror, so that's good.
Those are costing you what, like 10 frames each, my friend.
Yeah, at least slash the box, but yeah, no, that doesn't feel good. I mean,
nope.
Of course, we'll tell them later what we just said. You know, hey, we're busy. You're fine. You're getting work done.
Yep. It feels bad, but again, I was really hoping for a second Blazer was about to go north and go into escape, because that's the one that's going to bite more than the hammer. Mm-hmm. Is that Bombos?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just not a spot you go late. It really isn't.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's, if you do it early, cool. If not, you, like you said, you're not really going to do it late. And sure enough, it looks like Blazer's going to go into Swamp here. But there's always a sword in Swamp, he says, while dying inside a little bit at the meme.
Yeah.
And yeah, Maniacal fully embracing the I will check things on the way and nothing more, skipping Mimic Cave and skipping the TR big chest and just saying, I'm going.
Yeah, always nice to get a big key somewhere other than the vanilla location whenever you're in go mode. Because you can do that. And I guess I was told there's like a 3% chance of a key layout making it so that even then you still can't do it. But there again, you're never going to play for that possibility until first time it happens to you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and kudos to Maniacal for doing this. I still personally can't leave that big chest behind, knowing that there's a possibility of a small key in there.
Yeah, I mean, if there is this, that one's usually the one that your key steal is supposed to replace. But whatever one singular layout it is, it still keeps you locked out. I guess it would have to be a key there and a key at the crystal roll room, maybe.
I think it has to be the key in the big chest and a key on lava chest. So vanilla big key, like that one has to be a key for it to lock you out. Again, if my Link to the Past key knowledge is on par today.
Yeah, I mean, I'll learn it when it comes up. So hopefully never.
There you go. Maniacal might be showing us that small chance here.
Yeah.
Down to a 33% chance.
Comms curse. Let's go. If he gets death hold, that's another.
Bailed out. Big Bach, yes. Schrodinger's go mode right now. The 1 in 22 of Ganon's Tower having the big key on the torch.
See, with the Master Sword here at Trinex, you usually see some hammer strats. I don't know what Maniacal will do here. I haven't seen the play from him at this point, but...
Yeah, I mean, with SMZ3 not having quick swap, I can see a couple of slashes. Yep, and we do see Maniacal with a few of the slashes. Hammer is still technically faster, but making this Master Sword Trinex look like cake.
Yeah, well, it can be a little scary, especially the very first time you miss with a rod without a half magic. I guess she's got a green bottle in her or something to the quote, something to that effect. So that's good. I don't know. Even in Z3, I menu boss this one if I do the hammer strat. So. Also, really like me some half magic.
I feel it's underrated.
But nonetheless, keeping Trinix into the corner and whacking away until it goes down for some very, very much needed power bombs. But crystal number 3 out of 7, we got Swamp Skullwoods. Looks like Pod and Eastern. So Blazers checking left side here. Compass in the chest on the left. You know, I didn't want to say it, so you don't have to blame me, but sometimes when the first one's a map or compass and you haven't seen the other one already, it just seems like you're destined to get the other one, so that doesn't feel good either. But the problem with medallions is there's very little tying them to logical guesses as to where they could be. They could be as early as later as the game wants to put them. So.
Yep, only slightly less restricted than the ice rod, or slightly more restricted. I hope you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Ice Palace chances go down, but probably not because Fire Rod's just as good. So.
Yeah, and that's really the only medallion logic that you think about outside of getting into the dungeons. And with what we had outside the dungeons, our go mode is outside of Mire, sans the sword, and Turtle Rock, so there's no medallion logic like you were saying. But Swamp Palace continuing to make a liar out of me without there being a sword in here so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair bet when you're looking for one and there's that many to pull, and just the sheer density of Swamp Palace, I'm sure, is where a lot of that comes from. Yeah, Blazer's committing to this. He wants to see this, something. Gonna do that big key now.
Yep, I want to say this is almost time neutral as long as you don't get sucked back through the stairwell here. Just hold left, just hold left. So if you run into that stair glitch, if you just hold left before you try to move down out of the stairwell, you won't get sucked back into it. But unfortunately, that stairwell in Swamp Palace just loves to lock you in.
You see, that's something I had never fully figured out. I knew about the left thing, but I swear it only worked for me as we're finding a sword. The Blazer would like to see here at required pot behind the bow. So, as we all know, tempered is very, very nice in any run.
All right, Maniacal, come on, man. Why are you resetting the dungeon like that?
But no, that staircase there, for some reason I thought you had to dash into the bottom part to get the holding left to work, but I guess I'll try it the next time and see.
Yeah, I'm not overly positive on all the ways to get out of it. I just know that the few times I've seen Link not coming up the stairs, if I tap left, it seems to work. So maybe it's recency bias on my part.
Yeah, I don't know. That's funny because actually it's something I've never read about. I just tried stuff and figured out at least as much as I know just playing. But
yeah, and
comes
with all the
Argus.
swords on, go ahead, Scoops.
They're just doing a boss call. No, it's fine. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, with all the swords being over on Maniacal's side, we're getting the good old PowerPoint boss here from Blazer with the switching to hammer.
Yeah. A cool way to do this I learned not that long ago. Actually, you can do this with fighter sword in one swing as long as it's a spin. I guess you can hit the puff twice.
Yeah, a double spin will kill the puffs as we get the grapple beam out of the dark maze on Maniacal's side.
So that's funny about all this stuff. I mean, if you're here earlier, maybe you don't get to clear this, but as attractive as Pod tends to be, you'd end up with a sword, that grapple beam, which might, see.
Well, from Schrodinger's go mode to go mode.
I mean, wow, because this is just strange. Pod is loaded with good stuff that we don't need.
Yeah, I mean, we had that sword too.
This is it's not POD anymore, it's QOL, I think.
I was trying to think of a fun joke for quality of life, but well done, sir. Palace of Convenience.
There it is. So this is actual go mode for real? For Maniacal?
For real for Maniacal, and this could be very good for Blazer. So turn in this big bomb and then mirror Blazer. Mirror and do escape. Right. Everyone send energy Blazer's way.
Yeah, that would be very sensible. So if we see it, sometimes it's like Maniacal. I mean, I know I'm not always the positive person. I just try to play all the angles if I can. But like, remember Maniacal kind of pushing off the Moon Pearl a little bit because of all the cross game links and everything. Let's just hope he remembers about escape.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, we said it earlier, if you don't do it early, you tend to forget about it.
I mean, even me, sometimes I don't forget about it. It's just so early. You think, why would it have something like that?
All right, Blazer, come on, pull out that mirror. Pull
It's
out.
not
Oh no, Blazer, buddy, no.
Yeah, sometimes when you're just running your routes, you have the map in front of you in your head instead of the one, that is just an item press away. So
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I've done it before where I said I'm going to do this, then this, and completely space on something like escape. So it's very possible Blazer was thinking, all right, big bomb into pod.
well, he's going to pod. It's not escape. I feel like he probably still knows about it, and at least when you do this, you're going to get all that good old QOL stuff we just talked about and the required crystal. So it's not bad yet.
Yeah, and it still goes back to you're still doing important things. You're still clearing crystals. You're still doing what you know you have to do. It's not a time loss, so do it.
Yeah, I guess really, even if I think about it here, like again, if you try to bring yourself to ground level, I guess as it were, Bombas could well be in here, and if he goes to escape and it's not in here, right, that's a total waste of time. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's that ABC. Clear, always be clearing crystals. Oh, absolutely, Ferris. Comment in chat about how the race is still close. Absolutely, it is, and it's fantastic to watch. And I mean, we're looking at it. They're finally tied up. I think for the first time on required boss kills, and we have Blazer in pod about to get another crystal, and Maniacal and Eastern about to get another crystal.
Yeah, and Blazer already having this one done that Maniacal's in, so I mean, yeah, it's only about half the time you can judge progression by, boss count. The other half is just items, so it's just a matter of open 3 checks or whatever's left for him and escape, turn into density at some point. And it may not be that long, because Blazer's got a lot of stuff done. Yeah, the trip through Swamp wasn't so bad. I mean, if you can do most of the speed tricks, even if you map compass left side, which we know Maniacal won't do. Well, even if you do it, it's part of those required dungeons. So
Yeah, I think that's where Maniacal is going to pick up the most time, even just going there in go mode as opposed to Blazer, or even just going there with the boots. To be honest, the boots in Swamp make such a big deal because walking through that water slows Link down even more.
yeah, there's good lines in there in the water too, like you say. But yeah, Maniacal's got the shopping list, and next up on that is some crispy bugs.
Yep, straight to the back to kill that moth. And actually, I wasn't even thinking about this. If Maniacal does what I think he's about to do, this is really clever. He may be doing, obviously he's doing Skull Woods right now, but then go into Swamp, finish Swamp, and go right to backdoor Meridia.
Yeah, it's tough. I was kind of trying to say something about it before, but it's like tough to figure out how to get to that warp quickly, and it is out of the way, and it's done that way on purpose. But any way you can put yourself in that area on a route of required things is a good route. So yeah, Swamp is as close as you can get since Ice Palace doesn't really work.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things that you don't really think about until you're seeing it happen. That really separates. I'll even say like the good runners from the great runners is those small optimizations like that. Even if it's unintentional on Maniacal's part, just being able to combo that in smoothly really makes a difference. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, we're completing 2 games that took me like a week and a half each as a kid in like 3 and a bit hours.
I'd say that's a week and a half. That's pretty good, yeah.
When I say I completed them as a kid, it wasn't really me. I was just watching one of my brothers and my dad do it. And Maniacal Star. Oh, screw Attack on Mothula. Come on. I didn't even see that over on Blazer's side.
Oh, yeah. It does have moth done. Oops. Yeah, so that's a whole lot of nothing because we don't have Ice Beam. We're just going to turn it right back off anyway. Pretty sure whenever we get to North or Turian.
Yeah, I mean, no Ice Beam, no speed. Unless I'm mistaken, there isn't really a Zeb skip that Maniacal can do?
Yeah, I know nothing.
Scoop, you're the one who's supposed to be keeping me grounded here. I'm the one who talks just complete balls.
I don't know Metroid. I just play the game. It's fun. But I don't know. My time doing this, I feel like there's a way to skip just about anything with anything. In Metroid.
That's true. Super Metroid is morph ball required, everything else negotiable.
Here comes chat because they're going to say, "You don't even need that."
Well, actually, if you have X-rays.
yeah. I understand nothing. But
do not anger Twitch chat, for they are many and they are angry. But yeah, here we go. Retracing footsteps here again a little bit. Blazer gonna go into pod basement, and Maniacal just gonna quick as you like go through Swamp Palette.
So I gotta do whatever capture method Blazer's doing. I'll just ask about that later because normally the walls, that's a 60 frame camera shake, so you can't see it on here since we're running 30. But you could see it on his. It was blurred out, so I don't know if he's got frame blending going on or what. I think that's a good thing to do for a low frame stream like this, but just total observation.
I mean, they're retracing footsteps. We got to find something to talk about.
I mean, Maniacal, like you said before, he's going to be in and out of here with Crystal and whatever else Argus had. But here comes Blazer at Helmasaur. Not holding the sword out, just whacking away.
Yep, I didn't see if he activated spin speed. It looks like it to get a little bit better hammer hitbox there. But yeah, you can activate the spin speed to get that basically same hitbox of holding your sword out.
See, and apparently I've never done it that way because I don't know how you do that. You need stairs for that or something.
So you can still arm the glitch by doing the classic hold your sword and then spin and switch right over to the boots. Yeah. So if you arm it, you still can't swing your sword, but you get that extended hammer hitbox. So I've seen a couple of runners. They've been doing that in League, dating back to about the main tournament of Link to the Past earlier this year. But a couple of runners do it, a couple don't. Just depends on your comfort level at that point.
Well, and I guess the one advantage I can think of now that I understand it is if you get hit, you keep it. Pretty sure. As opposed to if you get hit holding the sword out, you have to swing it again. So
yeah, there's slight advantages to it. I personally don't do it just because I like the recoil of the sword and I'm scared of Helmasaur.
Yeah, it is a sneaky little bugger. I mean, it seems easy until you start taking a few wrong hits. It just spirals out of control on you.
Yeah, I think everyone who's tried Rando has done something like that once where you watch it and you're like, I can do that. and then you go into like a low equipment Helmasaur and you just get wrecked, and you go, oh, I can't do that. And so, you know, a boss that you kill while staying alive is better than a boss you kill quickly and swaggy and die.
Yeah, there's a lot of bosses too, like that one, as Argus goes down for the second time with supers apparently. And crystal number count. Is that all of them?
7.
That's it.
That's all of them on Maniacal's side, so we're still a Dragon away, but yeah, I don't know if...
Matt, are you going to do the thing? Is he going to do that now, or do you think he's gonna...
I don't know. He might. I don't... Again, Maniacal... Yeah, he's heading over to Dragon, so we got a little time, and there it is. Predict with your channel points where is the GT big key. So go ahead, do it quickly. It looks like that prediction is closing quickly. Get your guesses in on where that GT big key is going to be. We will go off the first person into GT, which will likely be Maniacal.
Yeah, I think we were planning on going straight up there because, you know, Zelda, but oops.
Yep. You'll see numbers appearing in chat where you can guess where that big key is going to be. You know, 1 through 22, whole integers only, etc., etc. But we still have a Dragon to fry.
Yeah, you're all right, for real. We wouldn't be doing this without you, obviously. So, like I said, if this is Z3, you know, you're going straight up there. So, in fact, most of the time, SMZ3, you're going straight up there because you usually have SM done by now, don't you?
Oh, Maniacal disrespecting the Spazer beam like that.
Oh, that's right. You still don't have a charge. So,
no charge, but we have grapple.
I'm gonna have to go with tenderize me today, not microwave. Still takeout. We're just going in and going out, but drive through.
Yep, but Maniacal on pace for a really nice time here. I mean, you think about it, Dragon's going to be a pretty quick kill here. Then you have, you know, 6 minutes after you find the GT big key. So 8-ish, 9 minutes, depending on where the big key is in GT. Another 6-7 minutes in Turian. So Maniacal looking pretty good on the time here, especially in a hard mode seed.
Down goes Shrimpy. Doesn't care about what's behind the door. Wants a blue suit for the way out. I think that's, you know what that is?
Yeah, could get it if he had speed, but alas, we don't have that.
I just figure if somebody's doing something weird, they know what they're doing, and I don't. So
I'm with you there. Just say SM buzzwords, and chat will believe us. But yeah, here's the real benefit of that, you know, that shopping mall portal is pop in, kill a Dragon, fall down here, pop out, and then let's go up the mountain. Chat discussing the finer points of denizens of Super Metroid. I love it.
Yeah, I'm told the little pirates are just considered Zabetians, like they're native or something, but they were conscripted, or I don't know.
We'll have to dive into the Metroid lore. Where's Adam when you need? But as we wax philosophical, here goes Maniacal on the climb up Death Mountain. Going to be popping into GT here very, very shortly. I'm personally a Hope Room left GT router scoop. How about you?
Hope Room unless key, then right, if otherwise left. Or is that basically exactly what you just said?
It is, but you threw the caveat on there of if you find a key, you go right.
You go right, yeah. I was gonna say, because, you know, what's the other option? If you don't find a key, go right? Yeah, okay.
I mean, technically we're racing no major glitches, but you could break the game. Yeah, Blazer unfortunately still looking for that Bombos medallion. We know where it is. But still, again, making progress, coming in, gonna kill Dragon, something that he knows has to be done.
Yeah, it's just an extra check here and there in the process. You know, it's a good race, except for the Bombos, unfortunately, and that's Rando for you.
Yep. So here we are, Maniacal into GT at 2 hours, 23 minutes, 54 seconds. And hey, man after my own heart, going to Hope Room.
You just, you know, maybe it's on the torch first sometime, but if it's on Hookroom and you do half the dungeon first, that nobody wants that.
Yep, Maniacal going straight right after finding a small key in that right chest. Meanwhile, Blazer also disrespecting Spazer Beam. Come on, people. Give Spazer some love. I know we have plasma.
In a run like this, you could pick it up because you can go through Turian with just the missiles anyway. I bet you they're going to let the animals die too, huh?
Classic. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Charge plasma. Just mashing that X-ray button. Not quite getting it in the one cycle, but might get it in two. There we go. And Dragon down.
Just like any other shrimp you cook, once it is cooked, it turns red.
Scoop, what kind of shrimp you eating, buddy?
Most of them. Turns red when you cook.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. My kid eats
I'm in
most of the shrimp.
I'm in the landlocked Midwest. We only get frozen shrimp.
Oh, those are probably cooked already, huh?
Yep, cooked, deveined, just nice and clear. Still good.
I mean, we get frozen raw shrimp too. Usually my daughters don't want to eat them. And apparently we're playing SMZ3 here. Did you know that?
Yeah, I was gonna say welcome to the the stir crazy portion of the seed, where we're in GT, not finding a whole lot, not even an ice beam for our problems yet, or for our trouble.
Man, can you recategorize a stream into food and drinks or something? Can we do that?
Just chatting. Hey, look, it's our speed booster.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, Blazer in a spot right now. We could go with pools, hot tubs, and beaches. Could we do that? Get a few views out of that.
Yeah, all of a sudden we spike from about 100 to about 1,000. Just what's going on over
there? Justin Bailey. That's what's going on.
I remember finding out that cheat code as a kid. Just like, you start with screw attack. You start in Bubble Mountain. Oh, look, another sword at plasma.
No. Well, I mean, it's better than a pack of bombs, but still not what we want.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Blazer, just so close but so far from that Bombos too. As we get Rando Room, missiles, $5, the map that we totally need in an E-tank. Oh man, what a slow GT. It's gonna be Tile Room, isn't it?
Yeah, if it is, and Blazer feels bad enough to, meme it, which happens a lot. I mean, that's 5 to 10 minutes you make up. Or, well, 5, but yeah.
It's enough to make you feel good about it or bad, depending on, your route. Who's our Shaq Tool fans in chat? Let's hear it. here's the hype for our buddy Shack Tool, as Bob's chest turns out to be even more nothing, just a small key.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something good. The ultimate middle finger here, I think, would be ether or something.
Oh yeah, because
see a
Blazer already
medallion
has Quake, yeah.
And vanilla. And there's ether. Never
And
mind.
ether. At least Blazer's having fun with the Shack Tool check, just doing a little Michael Jackson impression moonwalking.
Right. Yeah, we were looking for a GT count, and we're doing it.
I believe it was 18, because we skipped tile room, did full right, and it was the first chest behind Armo, so that just leaves tile room and those two other chests, so that would make us 19.
Yeah.
Because that leaves 20, 21, 22 for the next two, and then tile room. Unless my Midwest math is horribly wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea. Something just seems off, only because I know there's 23, but that counts the big chest, so it's, I don't know. But I don't know, we're doing the room with 4 chests way.
Yep, so thank you all for playing the GT Big Key guessing game, as Maniacal going to go ahead and make his way through the gauntlet. Yeah, it's one of those, it's the series of rooms that when it goes right, it goes so right, but then when it goes wrong, you just sit there questioning life itself. Like, why did that Zyzax go up on that conveyor belt?
It's actually because they didn't do compass room, so take a few more off of that. It's like 15 or something.
Oh, I thought Maniacal did go right to compass room. That's my mistake.
Did he go right? I have no idea.
Man, thank goodness we're not in charge of like the lottery scoop.
He probably did, and I'm just like,
it's all good. We were obviously excited about the Shack Tool play on Blazer's side, but making those whiz robes look like nothing on Maniacal side. Blazer, gonna go buy some potions here. Where are you headed, buddy? Hopefully not to one of the pendants.
So, little fun fact. I run, right? Well, I'm not running, because if I'm running, I'm going to be sleeping. Mondays or Mondays. That's why I'm here. That's why people who have been on this stream before with me coming on a Monday have seen me completely lose it around this time of day, so...
It's quite all right, Scoop. Like I told you, I've been looking forward to common with you for a while, and it's been a pleasure. It continues to be a pleasure, and hope everyone here at Speed Gaming 3 has been having a great time. I'm gonna throw a reminder here as we come up on the last few checks on Maniacal side. Again, if you've been having a ball like we have, go ahead, give these runners some love. Give them a follow. It costs nothing to do, and it lets them know you've enjoyed how they've been playing the games here. And there goes Maniacal, taking down Moldorm. Come on, do it, yes! Opens up Moldorm's last possession for vanilla 20 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
I may be biased because my league team was called Validation Chest Boots, but that's my favorite chest in the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I won't say much, but I'm staring at race time, and I guess I can see why he's doing stuff like this. He's got a reason to feel pretty good with, the way things turned out. I mean, the Moon Pearl was the worst of it, and that wasn't even that bad.
Very true. Well, way to get the double there. Oh, that's a really bad Aga pattern. Still manages to get one out of it, though.
That's what we call a 7-10 Aga split.
Still pretty quick work on Aga there. So Aga is down. Let's go fight ourselves Ganon. Then, of course, it's only going to be a single G in chat because Maniacal still has to kill Mother Brain and escape an exploding Zebus.
Say the animals. DNF if you don't, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding. We don't. Accurate information from comms, I was told.
Hey, as long as we call out that we're memeing, I think it's okay, but we'll probably get a talking to. Who knows?
Nobody
here to
watches
have fun.
SMZ3.
I think they saw it was us calming, and they're just like, I'll have it on mute. I think Maniacal got. Yeah, he's going to get the 1-1 here. Well done.
Yeah, a little help from the Ganon, a little help from good strats.
Yep, and again, hopefully the last time I have to say this, but for the uninitiated, if you have the cape on and you're holding a surface like a wall, torch, anything, where Link is doing the pulling or lifting animation, you don't actually spend magic. So a nice way to apparently waste time while Ganon teleports everywhere by being invulnerable without using magic. But we do see Blazer making the Thieves Town play over escape. I don't fault this play, just because it's one of those things like, hey, it's a pendant Thieves. It could be holding what I need, and there's 4 items as opposed to escapes, not 4.
I was gonna say it's pretty much numbers at this point because if you're looking at just the front of escape, it's 3, and everything he's got left has more than that in it. So,
yep. Really nice triple there, though, from Maniacal to get the big pig down. So, single G in chat for Maniacal, taking down Ganon. One cool part about the randomizer is, hey, you don't go to the Triforce room, you go to the top of the pyramid so we can head back to Super Metroid. Gonna do a nice reset, and there we go.
It really does raise some questions. So if you do this, you never actually get the Triforce, do you? Or if you do it the other way around, well, you never actually escape the exploding planet. So you're, Schrodinger's Samus, I guess. Kind of dead, kind of not.
Yeah. We'll just assume that Link's wish when touching the Triforce was to be teleported to a planet in some sweet space bounty hunter armor.
That's about to explode, yes.
Hey, what's the rule about wishes? You have to be very specific, otherwise the genie is going to be rude. So one nice thing about, chat pointing out, really beefed up our super count thanks to GT. Also got that speed booster, which is going to be really nice in the escape. Going to be able to do a few extra tech pieces in the escape sequence. And we'll see if Maniacal goes for the super short charge Zeb skip here with speed.
The only thing is that ice beam. That's might be the unsolved mystery of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, you're almost thinking it's in Ice Palace, because we didn't see any of our restream runners going in there. It could still be on blind too, or even in the back of desert. I don't think we got both items. We might have, but probably in one of those pendants.
One of those completely unrestricted things, so you could even be something as awful and rude as GT Big Chest. But, oh well. Of course, I know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I spent a lot of time pretty much convinced you needed it in here. Only later on found out that you didn't.
Absolutely. I mean, like we were saying with high jump earlier, it's like, oh, you don't need that. Okay, cool. There are other ways around this, which I've always admired about Metroid games, where it's just, you only really need a few items and the rest are truly negotiable.
So do we know how the baby got this big? You're just supposed to know it's a baby because it's absolutely huge, or what happened there?
Something space pirate, something steroids, something science.
So those ones on the way up here, they're just cannon fodder, I guess. I mean, you could have done that with all of them, but I mean, you got a whole planet and a supercomputer, organic supercomputer, on the task here. It's not Prime 3 spoilers at all.
Alright, Maniacal not trusting whatever he has in reserves, grabbing the refill. Maybe it's just to save all of our ears.
Yeah, I told you yesterday I did that, skipping the refill, and I took the save in the next room, so I still had 2 more door transitions anyway, so it was kind of pointless, but it's iffy, and he's got a bunch of people to beat still, so...
Swag strats are always time neutral, Scoop.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We can do that thing where you can get behind the brain tank then.
There you go. And we get Spring Ball out of the back of, or out the right side of desert there. Again, these are things that Blazer is just really, really not wanting to see, especially this late in the seed. Just give me that Bombos.
Sometimes you really wish items could move around. Seed just says, hey, you've put in your time, and I appreciate and respect you, and here you go.
Oh man, wouldn't that be nice? But Maniacal, more than enough missiles to take down Mother Brain here. I think after taking out the glass, had something like 47 supers and 112 regular missiles or something. Plenty of ammo.
Yeah, there's enough numbers in life I can remember after seeing once or twice. Apparently the numbers in Super Metroid are not those. Because it's one number, and I just never remember what it is.
Yep, I only know it's 60 supers. I don't know the math on if you have fewer than 60, what like the missile count comes out to be, especially if you have to do all the Zebs and then, breaking the glass and all that stuff. But 60 supers, you're good.
Well, over on Blazer's side here, since we're going to be sitting through a lovely cutscene, we got a downland move. We got a green pendant. I'm sure he's going to check that right away. At this point, it's curiosity for the rest of us. Hopefully it's an ice beam or something.
Yeah, really anything to make it worth the while. Good call, Scoop.
Did it.
Hey, again, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I'm happy to see this, but it's not what I wanted.
Wow. I'm going to go to bed happy for once.
Ice beam on green pendant, moon pearl in checkerboard cave or chessboard cave against Maniacal with how tricky it seemed to be. It's been a seed.
Yeah, and here comes escape, and like I kind of figured, and we can ask this, but I kind of figured, Blazer knew about this, and it just didn't exist until there was nothing left because he knew he didn't do it, and I do that a lot.
Oh yeah, and play the numbers. It's even Desert was 3 counting the green pendant, which is the same as Escape, and you had Thieves, which had 4, so it's like playing the numbers. I don't blame him at all for doing those for.
Look, well, Ferris says 2 escapes at one time. We got an exploding castle and a perfectly normal. Oh, wait.
If Blazer doesn't save the animals in Zelda's cell.
I wondered what she was doing down here all that time. Had to be boring.
Oh man, could you imagine if it was like vanilla Link to the Past, where every 5 minutes she says, Link, what are you doing? Help, save me.
Oh yeah, oh man.
No one would leave Escape.
And of course it has to be, unfortunately for Blazer, clear in the back.
Yep.
Let's see how many slashes this one gets.
There.
Sorry.
No, you're good. And there they are.
Yeah.
8, 9.
Hit a bomb. All right.
For good measure.
Wait, we're not done. Oh, oh, okay. I was going to save and quit. It would have been, well, pretty time neutral. Anyway, get your GGs in chat here for Maniacal. Both of them even finishing with a time of 2:44.18. 9 minutes ahead of Maniacal, though, was Ozger finishing with a time of 2:35.04, and that's it so far. So, second place for Maniacal. Very good. Let's see if we can get him in here.
Absolutely. Big GG's in chat for Maniacal and Ozger as well. Yeah, the sub 2:45 on a hard mode seed. Well done to both Ozger and Maniacal. Maniacal, of course, finishing first on our restream as Blazer heading into Mire. And like you were saying, Scoop, only 2 runners done. So, I mean, Blazer still has, a good chance of finishing pretty well.
Let's just make no mistake here. If I was running this, I'd have found that Ice Beam because I have this uncanny ability to hit go mode right when people are starting to get done, which is exactly what Blazer just did.
Yeah. Ferris, Azure's time was 2:35.04 in racetime.gg, and Maniacal with a 2:44.18. So yeah, just 9 minutes separating those two, but fantastic runs by both of them.
Tell you what, when I run this stuff, it seems like I think I'm doing okay. But then these times go up, and now I sit here and watch them, and I'm like, they made this look pretty easy, didn't they?
Absolutely, and even on Blazer's side, I mean, it feels bad to last locate that Bombos, but Blazer's still ripping through this seed. Make no mistake.
Yeah, that's like what I was saying. I mean, you're in go mode, and there's 2 people done out of whatever. I mean, that's a good day for me. So.
Deer Force. Shout out to Deer Force in the SM credits.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Maniacal knows we want to ask him about Checkerboard Cave and Lower Norfair. But if I had to guess, hey, it's been almost a 3-hour seed. Probably got to go refill some water or something.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on restream, we're going to know right away if you take a break, and if you don't, yeah, it becomes top priority right after you get done.
Absolutely.
He's on the way.
Hey, we are now joined in the booth by Maniacal. GG's.
Mouth's moving, nothing's coming up.
Maniacal might still have a muted mic from the restream requirements if I were to get.
Oh there man, you're not wrong about that.
There we go. Hey, Maniacal.
Strong guess. Oops. on a few different fronts. You ever just forget that Bryn Loop exists and then forget that Lower Norfair exists?
Well,
hey, I had Lower Norfair in my notebook here.
I mean, we were talking before, and this happens every time it happens with something in Mire. You have to go from Zelda, away from Zelda, back to Zelda, and sometimes you just don't think about it.
I mean, it's just that I have a Link to the Past rando smooth brain going on.
Yeah, you do.
Because I've just been doing so much ALTTPR with the League stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been having as much time to do the SMZ3 side stuff, unfortunately. So I'm glad I got to play this one. I'll de-rust my brain eventually, but I'm going to blame it on the fact that I'm used to like the single game randos where I'm just like, does it really have to be Hera? Oh god, it's definitely Agina. Oh wait, there's an entire map region available in Super Metroid that I just didn't do because I didn't have bombs the first time I was over there.
Yeah. I mean, the Lower North... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Scoop.
No, it's just a common theme today on both sides. Is especially that even while you're putting that stuff off, you're getting stuff done, you know?
Yeah, that is the thing that I really want to be doing in SMZ3 is early on, and I've struggled a lot less with this more recently as I've just had hundreds and hundreds of seeds under my belt, but early on it was just a lot of like, just be sure I'm always doing something that is getting something off of the board, basically. Just eliminating some region from possibility. And so I felt like I did do a good job of consistently doing that. I did never run out of things to do. It's just sometimes I did really dumb bad things instead of obvious good things. So not too surprised that I didn't win this one. I don't think that I cut 9 minutes off, even if I route this a little more intelligently, though. So GG to Ashdar on the W here.
Yeah, you're only minorly superhuman, you know. Just then there's just normal people somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very solid player. Does a lot of SMZ3 and does a lot of SM and ALTTPR. So, you know, unsurprisingly, he's gotten pretty good at it.
Yep. I mean, but again, no slouch performance on your side either. 199 clear rate we're seeing here, you know, and honestly, putting off Lower Norfair kind of worked out in your favor because the first time you had the chance to do it, you didn't have the mirror, and that would have been devastating. So kind of worked out that you showed up later with it. Although I have to ask, speaking of Link to the Past Smooth Brain, what happened in Checkerboard?
I was just so upset with myself at that point. I was just like, push the blocks, man. Just push them one way. It doesn't matter. Just push blocks. And it didn't go very well. So I pushed the wrong blocks the wrong way, the right blocks the wrong way. The wrong blocks the right way, probably, too. But eventually I was able to unlock that glorious Moon Pearl. I got lucky with the double bombos. That's a big turning point in the seed too. I don't know if you've also popped into speed gaming, but pretty much as you were in the Mother Brain fight, that's when Blazer finally went to, you know, back of escape, cleared a couple of pendants. So yeah, really put off that escape play. You know, some days it pays off, and today just wasn't one of those days. Yeah, I was in there pretty early because the Sphere 1 power bombs were just so tucked away. I mean, like, what, third check Crystal Eastern is not where anyone wants to find their Sphere 1 power bombs. Granted, back of escape, not Sphere 1, but you know, while I was over there, I was not gonna not do back of escape. The seed was already shaping up to be a little bit of a jerk early, and so I wasn't going to give up on a pretty low-cost key steal.
No, and that was a really heads-up play on your part too. You know, doing that escape, and then just really stingy on power bombs, and then, you know, you popped over to wreck ship, and the game goes, I'm just kidding. Here's 3 more packs.
Yeah, here's all the power bombs that you didn't have before. Was kind of 50-50 on whether to just aggressively go down red tower,
versus go over to wrecked ship, but I think the wrecked ship play worked out. I felt pretty good about it there. I was really baffled to find Gravity Suit in Eastern, and that kind of shaped a little bit of my decision making through the early and mid seed. That's just a really weird spot for Gravity Suit to show up in hard mode. And so I wasn't really sure what to make of it, which is why even before Crate, I just went up and just did the early Meridia stuff. I was like, I have a feeling there's got to be something going on up here, because Gravity Suit just does so very little in hard mode.
Yeah.
It almost is like saying that you might not actually need this for anything, but here it is because the rando said so.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other possibility, right? Is that sometimes it just shows up and it isn't for any reason. But I didn't want to lean on that too badly when the alternatives didn't look all that attractive either.
It wasn't even the only thing that showed up, without an immediate use for it. Like, how much stuff showed up before that glove? So,
yeah, like the flippers were weird. Like this was a weird seed.
Yeah.
When Hookshot popped at Dig Game, I was just so, or not Dig Game, Dig Spot rather.
Yep.
I was just like, what is going on with this one? And so I went back to the mountain, and of course it was like not great. And then went and got my hammer behind the flippers, and I was just like, oh god, here we go, back up the mountain. I really should have done the flippers stuff first, because I should have figured I probably needed to be in both places. But that hook shot was kind of exciting. I was feeling energized about the hook shot.
Yeah, the shovel being where it was, accessible from minute 0 right to the hook shot to the, that made sense, but of course, nothing.
Yeah, it was a suspicious shovel for sure. I didn't really want to do that as a singleton when I had it early, and so I went and did like other things first, basically, and then got back around to it. And I was like, oh well, I guess now I have to go to the dig spot when I'm activating my flute. But overall, I was pretty happy. I feel like I'm still kind of rusty. This one definitely shook a little bit more of the rust off than the last one, so it was good to get to play some SMZ3. I always like doing these weeklies. They're a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say, the AGA play, before you do LN or things like that, that's about the only time we saw the rush showing. Otherwise, you played very well, Maniacal. GG.
I mean, oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, the loadout wasn't too bad. Like the ohm skips, some of the scouts and stuff. I wasn't happy with some of the Super Metroid side, like room to room, but for the most part, it wasn't too bad. It definitely was better than last time, where I like sparked into the ceiling 5 times when I was trying to go to Red Ship. Dread has melted my brain on midair Shine Spark inputs, because they're just so different in that game from this one, at least to me. Where like trying to make Samus do the thing I want her to do in this game was just not happening last time I played one of these. So it felt good to at least feel like things were going all right this time around.
Yeah, pretty much every 2D game after, as the 2D games go up and up, it seems like it just moves faster and faster. So you come back to here and everything's floaty and slow, and just would throw you off, I'm sure.
See, I like the mechanics. Everyone says that this game feels really floaty, but I feel like it just snaps. Like once you get your ledge grabs and your down grabs going, and I mean, like when it's floaty to me, it feels like it's because I'm playing badly.
Well, that explains why I call it that then, but no, I just mean like relatively speaking.
Yeah, definitely. Like the gravity is a little bit slower, the falling is a little bit slower, for sure. But I still think, I just still love the game. It's great. But only other thing about this one that I kind of wanted to say was got pretty lucky with where Ice Rod was. I was just like, well, I'm back in A Link to the Past. I have the whole world to hunt down this ice rod, and I at least want to know about my Turtle Rock medallion, and just like know what go mode looks like. And if I spike the ice rod, that's super nifty. And then it just worked out really well. So I hit a pretty early go mode in this one. I think that really helped make it look like I didn't do a bonus Aga Tower.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. I totally forgot about it until Tavares said it, so...
Yeah. But, yeah. GG's to everyone who played this. I think that's probably about all I've got to wrap this one up. But,
I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
There's 3 bombs in Waterfall, or Waterhole. How do you feel about those?
3 bombs in...
The Waterhole in Meridia.
Oh, in the Waterhole? I wanted them.
You did? Okay.
I was like, I like these bombs.
You like those ones? We were wondering if you were keeping track, like maybe you were Zilch and Zelda and you just remembered. I don't know.
I mean, my loadout was pretty bad still. And bombs were my premier weapon at that point.
Okay.
like I didn't have a lot going for me. I'd had some bomb shortages earlier, and I'm all the way in at Watering Hole. I mean, there's no fanfare, right? It's a half-second text box. It's pretty low cost.
Looked at him and got him. I was just wondering if there was something behind that, like you knew something, or yeah.
No, I didn't have a count or anything on it where like I was like, I need these bombs for some very specific thing. But if I don't know if I need it or not in Super Metroid, without any sort of fanfare, it's just a lot more value to be grabbing things pretty aggressively and to just like basically blind pull all your checks in Super Metroid until you know you don't need things.
Yeah.
It's so low cost to pick up extra stuff. Whereas in A Link to the Past, like you have the little jingle that it plays, and it actually takes time. So like you want to skip all your heart pieces there, but grab most of them in Super Metroid.
Fair enough. Okay, so once again, GG's to you. Gonna do the chat thing. It's maniacal. Check them out.
Yeah, but thank you for having me into chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the commentary, and GG's to everyone who was running this, and then especially Blazor, whom I think is still going. If y'all got Blazor on Restream.
Yeah.
Yep, got Blazor still on Restream since we've had you in the booth. PP Chan did finish with a 257.26, and then we do have 2 forfeits so far as well. So there are still a handful of runners racing, and yeah, Blazor is one of them.
Yeah, I imagine for a lot of folks, it's coming down to like the ice rod hunt or something. This was one of those seeds that like you could just do all of the Dark World and then eventually find your ice rod.
Yeah, like you said, as weird as it was, it's not hard to imagine that there's just a lot of stuff that could turn into last locations for a lot of people. I mean, there's still at least 10 people in here. So
yeah, I mean that hard-on pyramid was very important.
Right. Everybody got that.
Hey, you spent the time to kill Aga. You may as well grab the heart.
I'm taking my prize, dang it. How Cosmic Brain if it was the Pearl for once, though?
I mean, we were mentioning that a little bit, and like, it's very possible Maniacal is just trying to do some super anti-meta play and hoping to spike a Pearl.
No, once I was like 2/3 through, and I was like, wait, I have a lot of other things I could be doing, like Modern Warfare and stuff. I was just like, I bet they're having fun with this.
and that's really what the holiday season is all about.
Isn't it, though? But yeah, I'm going to head out, let you guys finish commentating Blazor's run, but GG's to Ajder and PP Chan for finishing, and everyone else who's running this as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael. Have a great night.
You as well. Thanks so much. Bye.
So yeah, it's largely academics for Blazor, who picked up that go mode around the time Maniacal got here, and just been clearing dungeons ever since, coming up with there's your ether mad. Give you something to do there. So yeah, just gonna climb GT and get stuff done here. I suppose give them 12-13 minutes, something like that, and it'll be done.
Yep, and the nice part is, well, nice for Blazor. Blazor has that ice beam, so we're going to see a slightly different Turian on that side of the restream than we did from Maniacal. Just being able to kill the Metroids with the ice beam instead of power bombs, so slightly faster Turian with optimal strats there. Also, the rarely seen but always appreciated mirror shield strats against the Red Mimic.
I mean, I like them. I hate getting hit with by them. It's just laggy in that room. It's just nice and clean. This is because I can't dodge things. I just stand in front of shots. Let's see, people don't, I think, realize this, but the way lag works, in the sense we mean it here, is just, you know, once you get past a certain number of on-screen items, then you start seeing that lag. Before that point, nothing changes. So it's like, once you have a shield, you might as well pick up the other two.
Yeah. And then I think it's like every 100 rupees or something adds the lag too, so it's very strange. But we do have our 4th place finisher, Hitaka, finished 4th. Looks like a little trouble in race time. GG, 3 hours, 4 minutes, and somewhere between 10 and 40 seconds.
Yeah, I got it at 40, but oh, it says it lagged.
Somewhere between 3 and 4 hours.
The double beeps make an appearance. Have to point that out.
Yeah, you know, we almost made it the entire seed without hearing that because we had Maniacal's audio, and now suddenly I'm glad we did, because why would you play with double beeps?
I'll have to go back and see how many times I ever would have had beeps on her. I did it for a while only because, you know, if you got a lot to focus on, you're not, you know, you haven't played a game 300 times or whatever. You know, maybe if something surprises you, especially if you're on low mail or something, and you want to be made aware.
That's a very solid point.
I mean, it always seems to irk restream, but I mean,
yeah, if that's the worst thing that happens to me today, it's been a pretty good day, though. So, meanwhile, MM2 NES cartridge does take home 5th place with a time of 3 hours, 5 minutes, 29 seconds. So GG's to MM2.
I'm gonna probably, I don't know, I guess I'd have to talk to the Zelda people. I'm gonna try and see if I can get Checkerboard Cave renamed to Chessboard in honor of Maniacal, who tried to make all those moves and they weren't working. Buzz, buzz, buzz. It's like real chess. That's pretty funny.
I enjoyed it. Blazor unfortunately getting the bunny beam there, grabbing these last few chests in GT. Gonna take out the worm, and then of course our friends Aghanim and Ganon.
Priest, a pig, and a cranial mass.
Is this a new walk into a bar joke, Scoop?
I hope not.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen someone dash on the right side of those bumpers in a very long time. That was actually, it looks like Blazor has practiced that. That was smooth.
Huh. I totally haven't done that for the last 11 months. Actually, first time I caught a comment of somebody I was racing on ladder. I did that, and I forget who, but it was like, I've never seen anybody do that. It was pretty neat. I was like, so after I heard that, I just kept doing
it. Hey, and that's the thing too, especially with this game, how it is with
two games meshed into one. If you have a tech or a move or whatever you want to call it that works for you consistently, keep it up. I mean, that's better than trying to change things and learning something that may not work for you right away, especially in a racing atmosphere like this. Just go with what you know.
Yeah, Spore Spawn skips one of those good ones because I still don't know how to line that up, so I just run at it. And usually within the first 3 tries it works. You lose 7 seconds at the most. So that's what I do. Time Blazer here on the pig and getting a real nice phase 2 position. You can just go absolutely nuts. I don't actually know if that's better than doing the spins, but we'll see. Yep. 1 and 1, any way you can get it is just fine.
Yep. And showing off the other interesting quirk mechanic about the cape there. If you're slashing your sword, the way the game prioritizes checks is it won't drain magic as quickly because it sees that Link is doing something else, so it doesn't check for cape drain. So you'll notice the cape drained really slowly because Blazer was just mashing sword in that corner. So fun little tech for everyone at home.
Yeah, it's like when the sword's out, it doesn't count, so just keep it out as much as you can. I guess it doesn't count if you hold it out, but be swinging. Still want to ask him about his capture method, because I mean, see Ganon kind of being blurry, fuzzy. I don't know. I like it.
And a nice double to finish it off. Get your G's in chat for Blazor. Just have to finish Turian here. During that fight, we did have 2 more finishers as well, Zempt and Invenerable. GG's to those.
Yeah, it's still still makes me think, honestly. I don't know how this works out, but I guess this is why this is fun to race, because this takes 3 hours or more, whatever. Maybe less if you're good, but a big chunk of people can finish within a minute or 2 of each other over that time. I don't know.
Yeah, and like the divergence we saw between Maniacal and Blazor, and you can still get games that finish relatively closely is just wild and super fun, and part of what I think makes it fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I do it, because I myself don't find a lot of enjoyment out of running the same exact thing over and over again. I like the rando aspect, so sometimes it makes your brain hurt, but
it's definitely a great way to relive the classic games in a fresh way every time.
Yeah, there was not a point that I ever thought, the game I'd be spending the better part of a year on would be, 30-some years old.
Yep, pretty solid first Metroid room there. Blazor sneaking into Metroids 2 here. Nicely done with the 1 super.
See, now he can do this and stay out of the lava, and I still haven't been able to do that, so nice move there.
Yeah, very smooth room by Blazor there. So just going to let him group up, and there we go. Nicely done.
It took me playing random to realize you don't actually have to kill those side hoppers. And the first time somebody saw me do it, they're like, I didn't even know you could do that. Well, yeah, 5 supers, you can kill them. I just kind of always assumed the door was locked like the last 3.
Maid, thanks for answering that in chat. Green Pendant was our Ice Beam. I'm trying to remember where the silvers were.
Oh, I should know. We made a point of it.
I know they were before the Tempered Sword on Maniacal's side.
I want to say SM? That really helps, I know.
Hey, it narrowed it down to 1 of 100 checks.
I could be wrong anyway.
It's all good.
That bugs
Hitaka watched the VOD.
I know you. Oh, Ether, here we go. Nice, thank you. Steel G 101. So it wasn't SM. I'm good.
Yeah. it's all right, Scupula. So just the brain and the escape left here on Blazor's side. So not much left to do. Again, plenty of missiles to get it done, but has charge, has ice, has plasma, has wave. So don't even need to worry about the missile count here.
Oh man, hey, were you in the race time room earlier? Because it scrolls off the top. I wanted to see who rolled this thing, just because of how it is.
It's probably Ava sneaks again somehow. He
snuck in, did it, and left. Go to bed. Snore, gone.
Yeah. Really nice Zeb skip there on Blazor's side, though. Well done on that.
Yeah, because in a few minutes we'll explain it, but I mean it's still throwing a lot of good runners off here. The way that stuff broke down in this seed.
Oh, absolutely. And the entire field was just, it was a stacked field. I think we called that out at the very beginning. Always fun to see the caliber of runners that come out for these seeds.
Yeah, Race Time has this little ranking system, which I guess by Den's, the admin's own admission, is a bit of a potato, quote unquote. But I think it works for what we need it for, and I like to say anybody over 2,000 is high quality, which is why I'm not. But there's a lot of them in here.
Yep, and okay. To the best of my knowledge, it looks like we're set up all right for stand-up here on Blazor's side.
One of those things, I guess I heard soft lock the first time I read about it and said, nope, not for me.
and that's in the same boat as you, Scupula. It's one of those things that risk reward, and if I'm not super comfortable with it, I'm not gonna do it. But Blazor are gonna save some time here, getting these shots in on Mother Brain during the refills. So gonna save some precious seconds here in the fight.
I mean, I want to learn, and my biggest reason for doing so is because I just get tired of sitting here doing nothing, watching this thing play out.
Oh yeah, and it's like a minute of just no inputs if you don't do it. It's just the worst.
Metroid gear solid, anybody? I mean, at least we're not getting Mother Brain's life story.
True. Yeah, really well done there by Blazor, and showing off, hey, I have Spring Ball too.
Got everything. Every little thing, pretty sure.
Yep. The only things not lit up on tracker for Blazor is Ice Palace and that gold sword.
I mean, in a time like this, for getting all that stuff, that's good stuff, man. It doesn't matter who you are. Now, it's like to say, I want to race one of these in a format where, you're DQ'd unless you pull a 316 or 100%.
Oh, man.
And just see.
Hitaka, fourth sword was at Plasma Beam.
So which one did he not get? I don't.
So Blazor didn't get the one in Mire.
Mire, yeah.
Yep, and another nice shaft spark there.
Just gotta go. Takeout's getting cold. Oh.
Hey-oh, what a hero. Twitch chat hero right here, folks. Blazor gonna save or taunt the animals remains to be seen.
Need to work a thing in where this is good for at least 5 extra points on race time. I'd do it every time. It'd be the only points I ever got.
Oh, come on, Scoop.
Yeah, I've hit my peak. Nah, it's okay. Anyway, get your GG's in chat for Blazor Gaming. Just gonna put in as I fumble with my windows every time I do this. He's got an official racetime.gg time of 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 37 seconds. Shortly after, actually, how shortly? Like 21 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. Finished by a girl named Captain at 3:18:58. And that's with an animal save, so, you'll take it.
So, yeah, GG's to Blazor. That's good enough for second on Restream, of course, and 8th place overall in this race today. So, GG's to Blazor Gaming. We'll see if we can't get them in for a quick interview. Again, total race still going. There are still a few runners left. So yeah, big GG's to our 2 Restream runners. And looks like we have Blazor in setup, so we'll go ahead and get them up here in just a moment.
It's the green room. They got half decent coffee in there, I think. So gonna get a sip of that. But yeah, I mean, time ranges of finishes so far is 2:35 to 3:18, and those are good times for a seat like this.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of hit on it. Anytime you're completing 2 games in around 3 hours feels pretty good.
I mean, there's always this small desire for me to maybe, if I run this seed, I wonder how I would do. Well, that doesn't work because I just watched the whole thing.
Give me about 24 hours. I'll forget most of it. Alrighty, and it looks like we are now joined in the booth by Blazor Gaming. GG's Blazor.
Gotta unmute the thing there real quick. They really beat you down on Restream, making you do all this stuff, mute your stuff, messing you up and everything.
Yep. No
There.
mic, no alerts.
Can you
no
hear me?
There we go. Yes, we
Gotcha.
can hear you now.
GG's
again.
GG.
Yeah, you put up a heck of a run. Just you got randoed with the whole Zelda cell thing, unfortunately. But
Yeah, couldn't find that bombos for the longest time.
yeah, you're thinking of just no way is it that early, or is it just you because I kind of figured from here, not that I really know, but that's why I'm here asking if you knew about it and just figure, you know what, I'll do it last, or what was your thinking on that one?
My thinking is that I'm stubborn, and I'm hoping to God that it's not there, and sure enough, it was.
Yeah, I totally get that. I do the same thing a lot. But yeah, no, that's a tough spot for something like that. You need it for both pen and dungeons, or 6-7 dungeons. I mean, and it's just 10 spheres earlier.
Yeah, it was a process of elimination, and I didn't have a whole lot left to check. That might have even been my last check.
Yeah, we were figuring
before Ice Palace. I think that was the only other place I could have went.
Everything you had was denser until I guess what did you do right before that? Whatever it was had like
green pendant turn in for ice beam, which was at least a nice consolation prize.
Yeah, that wasn't the worst thing to get, but
yeah, you kept running into all this good stuff like pod. How much stuff did it have? It's like, oh, that's nice, but no. And then the plasma beam sword and the spring ball, whatever, and so
I was just trying to validate the run with spring ball.
Well, you did a fine job saving the animals. I know Twitch chat appreciated that. So.
That's good. I figured it was more or less running along a hundo, trying to full clear the game. Might as well save them at the same time.
That's fantastic. No, I kind of want to get your thoughts, and Scoopula and I touched on it briefly during the commentary, but Morph Ball and spiking Morph Ball so early, and then literally just staying in SM for as long as you did. Was there any point during your long stint in SM where you're like, all right, maybe I should duck back into Link to the Past a bit, or was your mindset just let's go through SM as much as we can?
I should get in the habit of going back to Link to the Past because the items are quicker to pick up, but again, I'm kind of stubborn. I'm just like, and I enjoy SM more, so it's working against me that way. I just felt like I wanted to stay in there and get as much done as I could.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I like playing SM. I'm just no good at it, and I'm way better at Zelda, but I'd rather play SM, and I don't know the last seed I haven't hundoed SM for, so makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was just Waterway and up. I don't know what that one room's called, but the 2 speed booster items that I had left in there.
Yeah, and I figure you probably know that whenever something's in GT, it can't lock, an item required for a boss. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The other sort of big, I don't want to call it a gotcha moment of the seed, but what are your thoughts on that Moon Pearl placement?
I don't even remember where Moon Pearl was. The hammer was the next item that had me scratching my head. I can't remember the Moon Pearl though.
Moon Pearl was at checkerboard. Required dip through LN with your mirror to get it.
Yeah, that kind of worked out with my routing because I think I went and did Lower Norfair kind of early-ish. So I did that check and I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Yeah, I want to say, you did get that before Maniacal by a bunch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Maniacal was not happy with that one.
Yeah, I could imagine, yeah.
it was, unfortunately, the seed of the round things, whether it's the Moon Pearl, the Morph Ball being early, which is kind of rare. Well, not rare, but not super, super common. And Bombos. Take your pick. But,
yeah, I feel like that's how the last few seeds I've played have been going. It's just, there's always that one item that I can never seem to find, and it turns into like an extended half an hour playtime or whatever.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like...
You're among friends.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not speaking out of turn here.
No, I mean... You can go through my history if you really want to. You see all these, last or second to last finishes I did, and I'm like, I go fast. I beat everybody in collection rate. That's what I do.
Yeah, you're playing your own challenge run.
So it's like you say, it's just the one item, and it seems like a lot of people know how to, not be hunting one item, and I'm just over here. It's a medallion, it's an ice rod, it's whatever. Okay, here we go again. But that kind of a time, still, for what you did is really good, no lie. So
yeah, I guess if it's below 3 hours and 30 minutes when it's practically 100, I was like, I'm okay with that in the end. I was kind of hoping that it was gonna be a pendant seed at the rate it was going, but no, it was just, I went and checked it and it was like an arrow capacity.
yeah, and I guess all the pendant dungeons, none of them had anything we needed. Is that true? Did I hear that?
I'm pretty sure that's correct. I think we could have avoided all of them this seed, which is interesting and strange.
That would have been preferable had I found the item I needed sooner.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Well, and we were talking about it too a little bit. You were never in a position where it seemed like you were scratching your head on where do I go next. You were always clearing something, and we talked to Maniacal about the same thing. Like, that's the most important thing about these seeds, is always be pushing forward towards something, even if it's not the progression in the seed. And you did a very good job of that.
Yeah, that I think there's at one point where I actually had too many options, and I was like, okay, I just gotta clear a dungeon so I can think about where to go.
Yeah.
Like, it was like Eastern Palace. I'll go get that done, and then let me think about a route while I'm doing it.
Yeah, definitely. SMZ3 is one of those that you have to actually balance, getting some stuff done, because even if for some reason you get every starting item, every item to start with at the very beginning of the game, you go mode the whole game, you're still spending an hour and a half,
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it went well, and we see that there's a couple more runners left. 10th place going to Tracy M with a time of 3:28:17. Yeah, there were a handful of DNFs. I mean, this seed threw off a lot of good runners. I mentioned, before you were here, but I mean, it's hard to do when we're sitting here. But just try and imagine, you're like, well, how would I do this? What would happen to me, kind of thing. But I think you handled it pretty well.
Yeah, other than not having luck finding that item, I actually enjoyed having a good loadout in the beginning. I got to just run through Super Metroid pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, plasma did not take long, and I mentioned then if you get that or a screw attack or both, I mean, you can just go.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take off. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And GG's on the finish. Well done.
GG. Thanks to the commentator, and thanks for the tracker guy, girl, whoever. Take care, guys.
Have a good night. So yeah, we see the difference in collection right there, 237 to Maniacal's 199. Now that I'm looking at it, and add a half an hour for all that. Still pretty good run. Which way you look at it.
Absolutely. It was a blast commenting with you here, Scupula. It was a blast hanging out with you, Twitch chat. One last shout out to the runners here from me anyway. Go ahead, give them a follow. Maniacal42 and Blazer Gaming. Of course, to my pal in the booth here, Scupula. Shout outs to you. Couldn't have done this without you. And of course, Maid Walkherd, Maddie Walkherd, again. I've been told both are acceptable for pushing the buttons, keeping us on track. So big shout outs there as well.
Yep. We need the trackers, and anybody willing to volunteer, by all means, sign up. I mean, we appreciate any help we can get, and especially for Maddie Walker doing a lot of work lately on, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, a lot of work lately for us here on SMZ3, so it's very much appreciated. That being said, yeah, everybody wants to get a start on their Tuesday here, so for Tiberius. I'm Scupula. I've been Scupula. I'll probably be Scupula next time. We'll see. And this has been SMZ3, Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer. As Tiberius mentioned, we run these things weekly. Try to get them on stream when we can. Twice a week, one on each setting of Logic. 3 p.m. Sunday, Eastern, and 9 p.m. Monday. So, until one of those two. See you next mission.